What's going on, everybody? Here we are together again, another Mulatto Monday. Okay, so the title of this stream is going to be Dr. Umar Johnson comes for biracials with white moms. He's coming for us, he's attacking us. Okay, we're going to get into it. It's a video that he shared that he made over about a year ago, actually, but it caught on my radar more than a year ago, excuse me. It was about, he uploaded this August the 2nd, 2022. So a little while ago, but this came, I saw this on my page, the algorithm, saw this video is interesting. And then the video has over 123,000 views. Okay. It's like I'm saying, these type of people, they want to speak for you, speak about you, and speak for you. And their whole position is to essentially position you, okay, to be their subordinates. I'm one of the few guys out here that's saying no. But of course, after me, there's going to be a lot more people. I have my faith in the younger generation. The older generation kind of just got fixed in. They figured out how to their pathway to blackness. Okay. They accepted a subordinate position. You're going to find with the younger generation, it's not going to be like that. Okay. Once they realize they have another option, they are going to seek that option and embrace that option. So I'm going to get right into it right now. It says Dr. Umar Johnson, the title of the video that he made that I'm going to be covering says racism from their own mothers, biracial experience. The interesting thing you have to understand with these type of black pros or Pan-Africanists, whatever, is they always switch it up to fit their agenda. So like when I've already mentioned this before on this platform or my other channel, that, Tariq Fraud Sheed made the Hidden Colors video, and he talked about how the Loncondos and the Gold Coast of Africa, right? How the Europeans used those mulattoes to basically be a buffer class over the blacks, right? But remember Tariq Fraud Sheed, remember he mentioned that, well, it's because the mulattoes take on the identity of their white father. See that? They take on the identity of their white father, so they do his bidding against black people, right? That's what Tariq Rashid said. But you see now today how they switch it up because they can't blame the white man, right? Because black men are willingly seeking, partners of other nationalities. Okay, so it's black men's free will to be with who they want, and a lot of these black men create children, like myself and and others, right? And so now see that they can't, there's no accountability in their community. So now they have to push the blame towards someone else. See, the white man isn't there in the equation for the biracial offspring. So now they're going to flip the script and move the goalposts. Now it's the white mom. They got to blame the white person. With these people, no accountability. They can't blame themselves for their outcomes and their predicament. They got to look to blame somebody. So now they're blaming the white moms. Very interesting. So I'm going to be talking a lot more about this on this channel for sure, because this is a heavy topic. And it's a topic they all engage in. They're getting all the views, all the likes. They're, the whole thing is they're talking about us. And a lot of times our voices are drowned out. You want to know why our voices are drowned out? Because a lot of these people, a lot of these mulattoes are stuck in Blackistan, and they're basically adhering to the communitas sensibilities, and they adhere to their edicts and policies. And these mulattoes don't even develop their own code or their own policies to abide by. Okay, so they're serving other people's interest, and so they're literally stuck underneath their influence as subordinates. It's too much work and effort to develop your own situation. So a lot of these mulattoes are lazy. They take the easy way out, which is kissing a black butt to feel kind of some kind of community or something, I guess. But I don't really see how effective it is, especially moving forward, because a lot of these people are letting you know how they feel about you. So let's get right into this clip. Enough of my monologue. Fair use.
Let me say this before I begin. No snow bunny should be requesting to go live with me on this topic. Snow bunnies who have given birth to African children, you
I had to pause there. I'm going to do frequent pausing. Some people don't like that. Well, I'll share the initial video, this video as well. But he just said that snow bunnies don't create African children. Now, snow bunnies kind of I'm going to start off by saying that term is not really you know, how do I want to say this? It's not really appropriate, I would say that. It's funny because I used that term before, like when I was around 16, 17. And I remember a white lady corrected me, and because she told me, "Hey, can you stop calling me that, Snow Bunny? I don't like it." I was like, "Okay, that's fine." I respected that. She told me she didn't like to be called that, and I acknowledged that. I was like, "Yeah, you're right," you know. But that was a while ago. That's when I was like 17. But I'm watching this now, and I'm seeing this guy who's calling them snow bunnies. It's like, well, what if they called you a tar bunny? He wouldn't like that. They whine. They're sensitive. They whine and cry about everything, right? So he wouldn't like that if you called him a tar bunny, but that he's gonna call a white woman a snow bunny. And but going back, white women don't give birth to African children. Even their own kind of scholars and prophets in their little pro-whack movements, these little black nationalists. They have a guy by the name of John Henry Clark, and he has a quote saying that you can't produce an African child out of the womb of a European woman. Okay. So a lot of these people, they have conflicting, philosophies. Okay. Like I just mentioned, you have uh, John Henry Clark, who's one of all these pro whacks. That's their leader, their hero. He literally publicly said there's no African child that comes out of the womb of a European woman. But then you got Dr. Umar Johnson, the prince of Popeye's chicken, who's literally saying snow bunnies and your African child. Okay, white women don't have African unless they're born on the African continent. For sure, they can make claim to that. But then, of course, there's countries and nations on the continent. That's extremely broad. African child. How are you gonna? That's the whole thing with the definition of African, because there's a champion right now with the UFC who's a white man named Drekis Duplexis. He's a middleweight champion in the UFC. He's a white South African. He's an African. He's born in Africa, trains in Africa, and all this stuff. And you're gonna tell that man, you're not African. You're just a white man on the land. It's like, okay, it's funny they want to express and exercise that's kind of supremacy. A lot of these pro whacks, but see, don't they whine and cry here in America when they're looking at you? The white man is looking at you like you're not even American, you're black. Or in England, they'll do the same thing. Like you're a Jamaican, you're a Nigerian, you're not English, right? They try to kind of deny your citizenship or your birthright. But the same blacks want to do that to white people in Africa, right? I see this stuff. The pro wax, they can only keep it up for so long. The contradictions, the conflicting philosophies within their own leadership in their own ranks. But continue on.
need to listen up. Pull up a chair, sit your flat ass down.
You already know the tone, right? Sit your flat ass down. You see, guys, hear that? It's funny. You guys see the thumbnail I put up there where he was caught red-handed in the cookie jar. Okay. With the white woman at the mall, trying to get her number, trying to hook up. So, yeah, but the tone right there, where he's coming from. He's coming from a place of hate. Sit your flat ass down. I'm going to give you a lesson about that African child. He wants these biracial foot soldiers. He knows, and these pro-wax, they know a lot of these biracials are looking for acceptance. Okay, they're trying to fit in. And he targets the children. He knows as an adult, I'm not even going to mess with your ass unless you're paying me money or dancing or singing for me. I don't deal with you. So he knows that's why he's very invested in the children and how they identify. But yeah, he wants the biracial kids to grow up to kind of prove their blackness, to be under his influence, to be foot soldiers for the communita or crash test dummies. As Kwame Brown even said, a while ago. You remember he made that clip, that video? He's talking about, oh, I used to use y'all biracials, y'all confused light skins. I used to use y'all as crash test dummies. Y'all want to be down with the hood? A lot of you people haven't figured it out yet, but it's okay. I'm here to help you figure it out. Fair use.
And listen up right now. Pull up a chair, snow bunnies. Sit your flat ass down and listen, because I'm going to give you some wisdom to raise my little African brothers and sisters. I'm going to
He repeats himself a lot, right? You guys all know that. He repeats himself like 2, 3 times, the same sentence. But he said right there, I'm going to give you some wisdom on how to raise my African brothers and sisters. You see the ownership? He's trying to use this blanket, this of blackness of my African brothers and sisters, he says. He's talking to a white woman. Okay, that's her own child. Okay, mulatto child came out of her womb. He's trying to steal that with influence using his kind of flawed, archaic philosophy. He wants to steal and try to bring that child under his influence. You guys not see that? The kind of possessive, terminology he's using. My African brothers and sisters. How are they yours? Like, but they think that we belong to them. That's what I'm trying to get these mulattoes to understand. Like, you're gonna get hoodwinked. You gotta start now developing your own stuff. Because this is never gonna stop. They're gonna continue to move the goalpost and use some other strategy to bring you back under their influence. My African brother and sister, how they have a European mom. They don't belong, they're not a part of you. You're not my people. Okay. Fair use.
give you snow bunnies some wisdom to raise my mixed race African brothers and sisters.
Like I said, he said, not me. He said my mixed race. African brothers and sisters, that's a contradiction. Okay. Because if they're mixed race, well, then by default, they're not African. They're mixed race. They're just as much European as they are African. So who's the confused one here? Right? They just want you to say that you're black so they can use you. Okay. They want to absorb you and neutralize you, because if you become your own distinct category, it's a wrap for them, not for us. We've been here before the country was established. We've been all over the world. We're going to continue to grow. A lot of you, unfortunately, just want a black butt to kiss and get reabsorbed, or you want to have pookies, bastard kids, and you go that route, and then you join the divester movement, whatever. Continuing on, fair use.
Okay. Black men with children by the snow bunny, I need you to listen up. Black men who have children with the snow bunnies, I want you to listen up.
Because that's the thing, like I said, with the whole snow bunny, term. It's like, how are you guys comfortable hearing him speak that way? He's coming from a place of hate. And if you look at the comments, you already know most of his supporters are black women, because it's a matriarchy. Black women run the show. And of course, black women's preferences are the pookies, because they know they can have ownership and control over that type of defunct male individual. Okay. They want to maintain the status quo. And that's the market he serves. He serves the kind of struggling, disgruntled communita queen, right? You think of that Tupac song, Dear Mama, that struggle song. Tupac was talking about his mama. Even though you a crack fiend, mama, you still a black queen. Like, that's his market. Those are the women who like he's speaking to, the ones who enjoy that song, right? But there's a lot more on that.
Because some of you brothers are so weak and pathetic. Some of you brothers with mixed race African babies with snow bunnies, you are so weak and pathetic that you are letting the snow bunny mother of your black child, you
guys see the ownership? You're letting the snow bunny mother, which is just racist at this point. We know Dr. Umar's a racist, and he wants to teach other black people to be racist like him. And look at his results. I mean, Dr. Umar, 2 baby mamas. He's been talking about building a school for over 10 years. Where the hell is the school at? His own father doesn't even like him. This is public. I'm not like trying to get into the whole personal situation. This is all public knowledge. Stuff that he shared or stuff that his father publicly shared. It's kind of sad, thinking about it, but his situation is not figured out. That's why you can kind of hear the venom and animosity in his voice when he's speaking on some of these concerning topics. His own father doesn't even get along with his own family. And he's going to sit there and try to preach to other men and women about their family. This is out of pocket. Okay. But yeah, he's a racist. Dr. Umar, we all know, calling these European women snow bunnies. Like, who the hell is gonna? That's like some ghetto hood language, anyways. Like, what civilized individual, a Caucasian woman, is gonna walk around and refer to herself as an animal? No, that's what you people do, Dr. Umar. He literally calls himself King Kong Consciousness. That's the name of this channel here. His channel, not my channel, right? His channel, King Kong Consciousness. I'm gonna tag him in the video. That's him. He refers to himself as a fucking ape, as an animal. Okay. The Europeans aren't doing that. Okay. They have a lot more decency. Sorry if you don't like me saying that, but analyzing the language, by discipline, that's my background is speech and language. And yeah, the white women aren't walking around calling themselves bunnies, snow bunnies. They're not calling themselves dogs. That's what y'all do, right? Fair use.
Are letting the snow bunny mother of your black child
The mother's European, it's a biracial child, not black. I'm here to correct you, okay?
destroy the racial identity and self-esteem of your African children right before your eyes because you have no backbone. You have no backbone.
And remember, his position, he has like no leadership skills. What man is gonna follow the tutelage of this grifter? Like, because he's always trying to talk down on black men and black men's decisions, but he has an inability to really work with black men to even build a school, to build something. That's why he's got to beg for cash apps from the queens, right? His market, his audience are black women, who are, a lot of them are the ones that have the identity issues and low self-esteem. I'm not saying all, I said a lot. If they're listening to a guy like this, I mean, it's like, come on, man. You're going to try to get your answers from this guy. I already pointed it out where it's like, okay, his own pops doesn't like him. It was actually a black woman. I don't know all the details, but I remember a couple years ago, maybe a few years ago, it was a black woman who actually who filed a complaint to get his license revoked in Philadelphia, where he's located. And I think his license is active over there. His is it psychiatry or psychology? I believe psychology. He has a license for therapy, right? And he works with school districts and stuff like that. And it was a black woman who filed a complaint, and he had a whole review board, had to go to court to try to maintain his license, And so that's what I'm saying. It's like, but that's still his market. He's still stuck there. And he always points the finger at black men. And it's like he's ineffective. How many years has he been doing this? Very ineffective, because nobody cares, right? I mean, the black guys that I know, do you think they're going to listen to this guy? I mean, if they do, then I wouldn't. Those are not the ones I want to know. I wouldn't talk to them. If I find out they're listening to Dr. Umar, taking advice from this guy, all you need to do is just go to the library, get a library card, order some books. You can read all the books. Read the books that this guy has read. He's always talking about Frederick Douglass. He's always talking about Marcus Garvey. Why don't you do what I did? I went to the library and I rented some Marcus Garvey books and I read the books myself. What the hell do I need this guy for? The most requested scholar, right? Yeah, right. Okay. Fair use.
You have no backbone. See, let me say this before I get into the topic. It's not about dating. It's about the children today. It's not about the snow bunny relationship right now. It's about the product.
Yeah, about the product, because he made a video earlier, or he was at a lecture. Someone recorded the video where he said they're going to create a whole army of biracials, right? He was pushing the whole Chancellor Williams black nationalist conspiracy theories about the mulatto buffer class. So he's worried about the children. He sees that we're one of the fastest growing demographics in the nation. Okay. So yeah, he's worried about the children because now In society, we're carving a space out for ourselves. We're networking, we're galvanizing, and we're carving a space out for ourselves, and we're affirming ourselves and celebrating ourselves. Okay. And we're not underneath the influence of blackness. So that's why he fears, like I said, he fears the children, and he wants to do something about that. He wants to make sure that they all identify as black to serve him. Okay.
We're talking about the children, my little mixed race African brothers and sisters who I consider to be equal and as African as anybody else.
And we know that's all bullshit, because if you did, it's an irony. Why are you calling them mixed race? He says you're equal and you're the same as all of us. No, we all know that's BS, because if you disagree with this guy, okay, the first thing he's going to do, he's going to mention your skin. He's going to mention that you're lighter skin. Remember, he did that to that guy, Seti, the Sarah suit and Seti, who's another guy. He's like on the pro wax stuff. And yeah, when he got in an argument, they were beefing about something else. The first thing he did was attack the guy for having lighter skin. That's what's going to happen to you. You're biracial. You argue or you get a disagreement, not even argue. You just disagree with one of these pro wax. First thing they're going to do is, oh, well, you're not even black like that. You're mixed. You got a white mom. You're light skinned. You don't face the same racism that I do as a darkie. That's what they're going to tell you. They're literally going to outgroup you. And so when I look at this guy and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, who is he fooling with this flawed, terminology like a mixed race African, who I consider you to be equal? Okay, you can fool a lot of people, a lot of the younger people, because they don't feel like they have a voice. They don't know that we're out here. That's what it is, really. They see a channel, a platform like mine and other people. They don't know that we're out here. Once they hear my voice, once they find my page, they're going to realize, yeah. Once they realize that we're out here, it's not going to stop either. Fair use.
My mixed race African brothers and sisters, I'm talking about the children who I consider to be equal and as African as anyone else. See, one of the reasons white women will date a black man over a white man, one of the reasons the white woman dates the black man over the white man sometimes is she knows she will always exercise power over that black man. She knows she will always exercise political and economic power over that black man. See, the Negro.
So I wanted to pause there and put my 2 cents in, because I already previously mentioned on this stream a couple minutes ago that we look at in the community the mating and dating habits from your average Keisha, which is his audience, not my audience. I have a small audience, but Dr. Umar, who has a big audience, a large audience, which most of them are Keishas. Okay. A lot of pro wax sims too. Okay. To be fair. But the same strategy, the mating and dating habits of the Keisha, it's a power dynamic. There's a reason why the caliber of man that a lot of them choose. Remember, you're talking about a demographic where it's like 75+% out of wedlock birth rates, where there's not a lot of generational wealth being passed down. Okay. A lot of them, they work for other races of people. Okay. And it's because you see that the women in his audience, they choose a specific caliber of man, the Pookie archetype. And I already mentioned this a few minutes ago. They pick that type of man because they want ownership over that type of guy. They feel like they can run game over him. They have something over him. Okay. So he's just trying to put it on the white woman. Oh, she's going to exercise political and economic power over the black man. Well, you know, with other demographics, it works the same way as well. But I see this even within the African American demographic, where, yeah, you look at the type of women, the type of guys that they choose, the Pookie guy and the Pookie guy. There's been videos on YouTube as well where I've seen a black woman's like, oh, I like scammers. I like to date criminals because I know that if he gets out of pocket and gets out of line, he's on parole. She could just call the cops. I mean, he literally and these are people with like a straight face saying that, yeah, this is their strategy. They want a specific caliber of individual that has some type of flaws to where it's like they can exploit that. Okay. Yeah. So they want the Pookie guy. If he's got a record or something, he has some dirt on him, they can use that over his head. It's about control and power. You guys don't see that dynamic at play? I see it. And there's a lot of these people, they're so bold on social media. They've literally publicly expressed this.
The Negro's ego has been so abused by white society. The Negro.
See that? That's Tariq Nasheed, pretty much all pro blacks. They push the same thing that, oh, the psyche, the ego has been destroyed by white society. Everything's white people's fault. So you, as a biracial, you got a white mom or a white dad, whatever, because they flip and switch every time depending on their mood. They're gonna say it's the black mom biracials, or they're gonna say it's the white mom. So I don't play that game over here. I know what it is. It's these black people coming over to try to basically divide you up, to devour you and absorb you. Pro blacks, I'm talking about, not your rank and file every day black person. I'm talking about these black racists like Dr. Umar and his following. Pro blacks. They move the goalposts and they always switch it up. It's the white mom ones. It's the black mom ones. You know, because Alicia Keys has a white mom and she's black identified. Zendaya, white mom, black identified. Also, Jesse Williams. Jesse Williams has a white mom. He's black identified. I think Colin Kaepernick as well. He's a white mom, black identified. So you have a lot of these type of, public figures, who are kind of notable in the public eye, their names, etc., and media. And it's like, you know, yeah. So you have to call these people out. When they put this stuff out here, you got to analyze it, observe it, and I'm just letting my people know what's going on. Like I said, providing a voice for those who feel like they don't have a voice because your voice gets drowned out within the communitas, you know, spheres.
Negro's ego has been so abused by white society.
But I just want to point the cowardice out where it's like everything's white people's fault according to them, right? And they want to blame all their problems on white people. Okay.
The Negro ego has been so abused by white society that he needs an ego booster shot. He needs an ego booster shot in order to feel like a real man. And the black man's ego booster shot is the white woman. The snow bunny is the life jacket. The snow bunny is the life preserver for the black man with no self-esteem. The snow bunny is the life preserver for.
The interesting thing, I mentioned this, I don't know if it was a video or a stream or something. I lose track a lot of the time because, it's a life. You got, a lot of stuff going on. You kind of lose track of certain things. And like I just did right now, lost a train of thought. But he said about like white women, like the ego boost, but it's like white women are still the standard of beauty in around the planet. Like even in South America and Latin America, I guess I can expand it there, but here in America and in Europe, obviously. So it's like they're the standard of beauty. So it's like that they would be an ego shot to any group of man, like even their own white men, right? And yeah, so I'm like, even Hispanic, I see Hispanic men if they have like a white partner, like I don't understand like how like he's trying to act like he's trying to make it seem like a lot of these black guys like they lack confidence or something like that, or their ego, which is true, but that's with every group. See, the thing is people try to like a lot of black people, I should say, try to kind of punk and humble mulattoes to say, "Oh, you got an identity issue because you won't put up with my black bullshit. You won't identify with me." Or something like that. So they'll try to kind of pick on you or something or abuse you. Not me, because I don't deal with them like that. But some of you people out there, I see these stories and testimonies. They'll try to literally say that you know you have self-esteem issues or you have identity issues, you're confused, right? So I'm seeing this argument here from Umar where it's like he's trying to say black men have lower egos, and so they want to get a white woman to. No, maybe because the white woman just was is what he likes. You ever thought of that? I already mentioned a lot of other men like it too. I remember I was working at a strip club a while back, and there was like a couple Asian guys. I don't remember what country they were from, but they were foreigners. They weren't Asian American, but they were from, East Asia. And they specifically asked for like if there's white strippers working, right? So white girls or blonde girls. They're like, "Oh yeah, we got a few of them in the house." So it's like every group of man like prefers the European woman. Like majority of men do. So if it's an ego boost for every man. That's what I'm saying. Like, but his whole position is to try to like gaslight and attack black men. I've been noticing this now, especially the past year. Because remember, I met Dr. Umar publicly in person. Um, so and that was back in 2016. We're in 2024. So that was what, 8 years ago, almost a decade. So yeah, that was a while ago. A lot changes, a lot happens, especially in your 20s, you go through kind of a growth phase. And I wanted to point that out. I noticed this guy's game. It's like he's just mad. I saw the thumbnail where he's sitting there with it's a contradiction. He's sitting up there in the mall with the white woman. He's just mad because he couldn't get a white woman. He couldn't work it out. Sage Steele, the famous biracial advocate, I can say that. She has a black father, white mother. They're still married. They've been married since what? I think the 70s, she said. That's like 50 years. So it's like intact family, and look at her results. She's like got a ton of money, notoriety and fame. The only people hating on her are the bottom dwellers in the community because they hate themselves, so they project on everyone else. So yeah, let me continue on with this fair use.
For the black man with no race pride, the snow bunny is the life preserver for the black man with a poor self concept. I've told you before, the white woman is a white surrender flag that the black man waves to the white power structure. I said the white woman is a white surrender flag that the black man waves to the white power structure. The white woman is a white surrender flag that the black man waves to the white power structure. Same.
And this guy, like I said, repeats himself a lot. I'm gonna probably break this up into two streams because I don't plan on being here all night. And I'm gonna pause frequently to provide some commentary. Just wanted to add that.
I submit. I submit. When they see the black man with the white woman, that means he has new.
Sorry for that delay. My browser shut off real quick, but I'm gonna get right back into it. Apologize for that. I'm not using Chrome for this, and the best option to do streaming, from what I have found out doing this for some time, is Chrome is like I have the most success with streaming with Chrome. But since I'm using a Microsoft Edge, it's a little janky. But that's okay. I'll know for next time to not even mess around with Edge. Sometimes I like to kind of fool around with different browsers to see what the results are, and I kind of figured it out now. these problems always, these interruptions always happen with Edge. So let's continue on, Furious.
Of white power. I see we got a lot of Negropeans and we got a lot of cave dwellers in the chat. Here's what
See that, cave dwellers? See that racism, guys? Crazy, huh? Like what, whatever. Fair use.
I'm going to say. If you are not drawn to the wisdom of Ifa Tunde, you would not be on this live. To my TikTokers, if you were not drawn to the wisdom of Ifa Tunde, you would not even be on this live. So don't act like you hate the message when you constantly watching the man. Now let me continue.
Now, I'm only watching this because he's got biracials in his mouth. And like I said, a lot of these people, especially these black racists, they feel like they own you. And once they realize they're losing all the control, what do? They're going to resort to savagery, try to attack you. And not only that, they're going to basically try to instigate and get their white massa to attack you, to put you back in your place, right? Just use my social media as a case example, all the videos and comments that I receive, etc., which I got a lot more material to upload. And yeah, so that what they'll do, oh, when the police pulls you over, that's their favorite one, right? My white massa is going to remind you that you black like us. When the police pulls you over, he's going to say you black, right? So that's their humbling tactic. When they lose all influence and control, when their little pookie hood swag is not good enough, I'm still sitting there laughing, saying, F you, right? Then they're going to result to the scare tactics. Then they're like, oh, I'm going to get my white massa to remind you, right? Yeah.
White men who have children with black mothers, you need to listen. Black women who have children with white fathers, you need to listen. White men who have children with black women, you need to listen. Black women with children with white men, you need to listen.
So the issue here is black and white, which, as we've always suspected. So his issue, like all the other black racists, is the mulattoes. Because remember, they hate mulattoes more than white people because they love their white massa. And they're working for the validation and the acceptance from their white massa. And they know that us, biracials and mulattoes, since we are partially white, it's part of our family, our birthright, we will always have more acceptance from them than a guy like this Dr. Umar. You look at him, especially the language he's using, calling people cave dwellers and snow bunnies, especially that. It's like he's already shown his hand, and but it's funny because he has that degree. He's going to use that degree, that doctorate he has, a doctor, to flex on other blacks, right? Oh, I got my degree from this university. You're not as educated as me. But yeah, it was a white man gave you a degree. He's going to use the white man's technology, the white man's inventions. He's going to jump up here and talk ish about the same white man. How ungrateful for you people. But I wanted to mention that he says the white man, black woman, black man, white woman. His issue is black and white, mulattoes. Okay. He didn't say Asian woman, black man, or Hispanic woman, or, black man. No, no. His issue is with the mulattoes. And that's, primarily the audience that I cater to, of course. And that's something we have to take notice of, guys. That's the reason why I'm doing this stream. Like I said, I don't watch his stuff. I stopped watching this character when I I turned in my 2-week notice to all the pro wax. This was back like 2019, 2020. So a few years ago. I left all that crap behind me. I was like, you know what? I wasted enough time in my 20s with this crap, and you can't fix it because you can't. People who hate themselves and they don't want to progress, not all, but a large percentage where it's like, look, they're going to contaminate and sabotage everything around them. You got to just get the hell away from them and try to find people who are positive and productive to deal with. And so I left all that crap behind me. Like I said, the only reason why I'm talking about this is because they got biracials in their mouth. And they're literally up here saying, my mixed race African brothers and sisters, they're not yours, homie. And I'm going to be one guy and other people are going to remind you of this. Okay. As long as you got us in your mouth, you're talking about us. So now we're going to talk about you. So that's called life.
But the biggest situation we find in interracial child producing, interracial procreation, snow bunny offspring. Interracial procreation is what we're talking about. Interracial procreation is usually black man, white woman. Most of our mixed race children are from a black man with a white woman. So most of my lesson today will be to black men and white women.
Yeah, he knows his place. He's not going to preach to the black queens because that's his audience. As soon as he gets uppity with them, they're going to withdraw all their support and all his donations are going to dry up. His lifestyle is going to dry up because he's living high off the hog, off black women's kind of angst and vulnerabilities and just them being disgruntled with their position and situation. And so they look to him as kind of this male father figure, savior to boost them up with confidence, right? He's a preacher. He's a pro-whack Pan-Africanist preacher. So all he's doing is preaching, talking, and gonna give the queens some confidence, right? And of course, he's got two baby mamas and his own pops doesn't even like him. It's just, yeah, right. You need this type of guy for confidence. Okay.
So let's get into this. Number one, in my experience, the white father of the black child is more honest. In my experience, the white father of the black child is more honest with his child about their race.
Their race is biracial. They have a white father and a black mother. They are biracial. Black is not dominant. But I wanted to point that out because I did a video, like one of the first live streams on this channel. I reviewed like the CNN kind of mini documentary about who's black in America, and most of the sample, pretty much all of them, like 90% of those biracials had white fathers and black mothers. And it's like I remember one of them, there was like a high school student, I believe it was high school, and the girl, they were in the living room, her white father was there, and the white father, the man was like, oh, I try to tell them it's important to say you're biracial, to know that you're both, you're not just black, you're black and white. So it's like, yeah, that's a good father who's in the household letting his biracial daughter know that you're not just black. You know, I'm here, I'm the white part of your family, you're also white. Dr. Umar doesn't like that. He just wants these biracials to identify as black so he can use you guys. Okay.
The white father of the black child is more honest with his child about their race. And the reason I think the white father is more honest with his child about their race is because the white man understands that white men rule this society.
White men rule the society. We asked the question, Dr. Umar, why aren't you ruling the society? If you're King Kong consciousness, if you're Pan-Africanist, you're all powerful and black power, why aren't you ruling it? We know why, because you got to be a crybaby. You got to find another man to gaslight and blame. Why don't you examine maybe the culture that the white men are involved in with NASA, with the satellites, okay, with all the advanced medicine and technology? Maybe their value system is different than yours, okay? You ever thought of that? But oh no, they got to have a built-in excuse for why they can't produce, okay? They got to have that proud victim card, right? And like I said, he's gonna say, "Oh, the white man understands." Remember, these pro-blacks, these black nationalists, Pan-Africanists, they all serve white supremacy. And what they're doing now is they're battling it out, trying to figure out who is gonna maintain this utilitarian class of people known as mulattoes, or as some people would put, a raceless group. So that's what these black supremacists are fighting over. They're trying to maintain this control over the mulattoes. And Dr. Umar knows with a guy like me, it's like we'll probably end up being on the battlefield. Yeah, I won't be on your team. Okay. I'm going to be on the mulatto team. And so that's why he knows that. He knows I'm not the only guys. I'm just the one of the guys publicly saying this. But he knows a lot of us mulattoes are thinking this. So he knows he's going to invest into the children. He knows it's important for him to get to the children to influence them at an early age so they can be his foot soldiers and crash test dummies. But yeah, they're fighting for influence or market share, if you want to put that. Yeah, they want to keep you in, maintain you so they can use you as a crash test dummy. And all these Pan-Africanists, pro-blacks, black nationalists, they all serve white society. All of them, ALL. Okay, fair use.
Society. And the white man understands that the black child, even being mixed race, will never be given the privileges or opportunities of the unmixed white child.
That's interesting because they always whine and cry when we get these opportunities, right? When we get these movie roles, when we get selected for positions above them, right? When we're preferred, like in, when all over the place, movie, television, for modeling gigs, for athletics, when we outperform them, and they always cry about Patrick Mahomes. This guy, Dr. Umar, he's always crying about Steph Curry and crying about Mariah Carey and Drake. Remember, I did a video. He's like, "Oh, Black America is going to be all mixed race in the next, 10 years," right? But then you see how he contradicts himself, how he says, "Oh, I look at you as equal. I don't care if you're mixed, you're still black." It's like, I'm doing this for my audience and for those who are just first time listening to me or new people. You got to challenge the stuff and put it out, put it in perspective because, yeah, the biracials and mulattoes, they have a voice. And of course, over here, it's heard. And we're come to find out when we're comparing notes and analyzing information, we're not the ones who are confused out here. It's these flip flopping pro whacks who change the damn criteria depending on their little feeble emotions, how they feel, right? Today, oh, mixed race, you're in a mixed race African, you're just as black as me. Then tomorrow, oh man, the mixed people are trying to replace blacks. Like, why don't you confuse Negroes? Just make up your mind already. That's okay. I'm going to make it up for you. Biracial is not black. Okay. Fair use.
The white man, because he makes the rules. The white man, because he lives by the rules.
The white man makes the rules. You hear this? This King Kong consciousness, okay, pro-black extraordinaire, letting you know his massa makes the rules, right? Remember I told you, and they're always going to try to scare you into submission, right? To go back to the communita, to be a subordinate. They're going to let you know, oh, they're white massa. My white massa said so. My white massa makes the rules. We don't, it's the mulattoes who challenge white people more than these damn blacks. I mean, that's why the whites are more fearful of mulattoes than blacks, because they know most of the blacks just want acceptance from white people. Okay. If I can say that, it's going to hurt some feelings, but put a comment, let me know what you think, because I look at all through history. It's like, yeah, the people who are challenging the social, situation, the structures of society have literally been these mulattoes. Thurgood Marshall, Adam Clayton Powell, Charles Drew, and Booker T. Washington, W.E.B. Du Bois, Frederick Douglass, even someone who they call like Barack Obama. I know he's a kind of political pawn, but he's still like a trailblazer if you think about it, being the first person who's not a pure white man in the presidential office, the highest office, right? He has a white mom, but he has an African Kenyan father. So, and then of course, by him being in that office, he's inspired people around the world. He has like fan clubs. I heard they had an Obama fan club in like the Netherlands. So there's people all over the world in Africa and in Europe and South America who look up to the man, Barack Obama. Okay, people who don't even speak English, you know, but they just see him there in that position. So it's always been these mulattoes around the world who have kind of challenged the social norms of a European society. And we're the ones who are going to catch a lot of hell, and a lot, especially a guy like me in this competitive society, because a lot of white men, they're going to be fearful of you. They're going to look at you and know, hey, that guy, and I've shared clips of this on my channel. of an older white man who literally publicly said this. I could probably find it since I'm talking about it right now on my channel.
The white man, because
Yeah. I shared a clip about this where he literally said, "Oh, they're those mulattoes. They got white moms. They're going to be raised to be real." He said, "Real killers of white people." Those were his words, not mine. I put white nationalist conspiracy theories. Let's see if this is the one. I think.
It was to the forced miscegenation and destruction of the white race peoples here in America, and ultimately England and Canada and Germany and the Netherlands. It's the same policy. Forcefully race mix and miscegenate the whites of those nations, make them ashamed of their Protestant history, miscegenate and race so that the offspring are mulattoes, then these mulattoes are inferior intellectually and physically to the white Saxon race peoples, and these mulattoes and these blacks can never maintain white.
Okay, that was one. I did. There's another one. Maybe it's part two. I'll get right back to it. Yeah, or it could be part one. Yeah.
Influences on your sound.
Well, I've grown up listening.
If you are from influences on your sound.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm not even gonna look for it. Whatever. I don't care. I'll timestamp it and I'll share with you guys that later. I don't know if YouTube removed it or what, because that was a pretty the guy basically so I'll just summarize it. The guy basically said, "Oh, these mulattoes, they hate white people 1,000 times more than the blacks." So it's like a lot, and he's one guy who publicly said that. But I know for a damn fact a lot of these people out here, a lot of white men feel this way in society. I see it. They know they're more fearful because they're fearful of other white people, right? White Americans are fearful of the white Russians. Okay. So and they know because you're a mulatto, you're half white, they're gonna be more fearful of you because you'll have access to information that other groups don't have. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Let's continue on. Fair use.
this is the rules. He is more honest with his mixed race child. The white father will tell his daughter, "You are black." The white father will tell his son, "You are black." But the white mother, on the other hand, the white mother is more in denial. See, Karen, Betsy, Pat, any.
You see how he's using all this kind of flavorful language when he can just get to the damn point and stop trying to entertain people. But you know what it is I'm happy my mom never like pushed this black identity bullshit onto me. But I grew up, like I said, with my black family, and I've always had, in my city in Anaheim, there's not a lot of black people, but there were some black people, and I've always connected with them because there's familiarity there. But yeah, even in my own household, my own house, my home, like during Christmas time, my mom would put images of like a black Santa or something like that. I'd see images like that early on growing up. So it was always kind of instilled in me, even at a young age when you're not developed, you can't articulate things in the manner that I can now. But I psychologically, when you see those images, it created a level of balance. We have a white mom but I have a black father, and I would see my black father regularly, but I didn't grow up in this. They weren't in the same household. They've been divorced, but I had both influences from both sides of the family. But it's like my mom was realistic. Like she never pushed this black identity bullshit on me. But like I said, with the whole like black Santa and images like that and connecting with my black family, there was still a level of like understanding and balance. I was never just forced to just, you have to identify with them. They're your only family. It's like, well, no, I got a white mom. That's part of my heritage and family as well. And that to me is healthy. I feel like I'm healthy. Not saying I'm the nicest guy. I'm not saying I'm the most moral guy or the smartest guy. I've never claimed that. I'm just a guy with an internet connection and a YouTube account. And but yeah, that makes sense. You're biracial. You got a white parent, a black parent, you're not black. Okay. Fair use.
Elizabeth are more likely to tell their mixed race children that they are mixed race, biracial, almost white, half white. They are more likely to deceive their child into believing that they are mixed race.
It's a biological fact. Has nothing to do with deception. I shared a video that actually Mulatto Mermaid shared about a content creator who's like, her white family was trying to pressure her to just identify as white. And the woman was in tears. I don't have all the details on that video, but shout out to Mulatto Mermaid because she shared it and I saw it. So, I mean, that's just as bad as if they're trying to force you, like Dr. Umar, try to force you to identify as black, and they're going to try to use scare tactics and stuff like that. I'm like, no, no, not going to work with me. No, it's so bad too, where they have a lot of I actually, there's a woman Instagram mutual on Instagram, mulatto woman who we were talking last week, and she even said, she shared with me, she was honest enough to share. She said that it was a private conversation, so I'm just gonna leave it at this. But she said that was growing up, she hated being mixed and she just wanted to be black. But you know what? That's common with a lot of us. That's why I'm sharing that. Now that's really like psychological kind of fuckery, if I could put it like that. And it's not from our own doing. It's just the environment, the society we're in. It's a very binary kind of culture where they want to force you into either this side or that side, when we have to literally create our own lane today. And we're doing that. We have to create our own spot because, like I said, these other groups are trying to battle each other out, and they want to use us as proxies and crash test dummies for the other side's kind of aggression. But yeah, what the lady shared with me, how she didn't want to be mixed, she just wanted to be black. Like, that's very common with a lot of us if you examine. Even at one point, I think I went through that for maybe a year or so, the deeper I got into the pro wax stuff. But then I realized how unhealthy it was and how insane it was. So I definitely took a few step backs. I had enough mental kind of my faculties were intact enough to I realized, like, yeah, I can't exist in this type of situation and function correctly. But a lot of us go through that. That is the real mental confusion. When you are a biracial person and you are just identifying with one side solely, just to appease the group or to feel like you fit in or something, that's like, yeah, that doesn't sound healthy to me.
Almost white, multiracial, biracial. The white woman knows that in American society, their child is going to be treated as an African because that's
Nope, I'm not treated as an African because I'm not African. Okay, I'm an American. I'm treated as I'm biracial. And the downside, I'm going to talk about this more, obviously, on this channel, make a video about it. But the word mutability is this kind of willingness to change. That's why a lot of us get hate from a lot of groups. Even the Latinos will hate on us because, in blacks and whites, because a lot of people don't know where we stand. They don't know which side we're on. They can't put us in a box, and they hate us for that mutability, the willingness to change. And we have that capacity. Some people will refer to it as like a chameleon. They'll use that analogy. I've seen some Africans say that in reference to Obama, because Obama's a mulatto. They'll say, oh, well, they're chameleons. I don't trust them. They can change. They talk about mutability. Okay. Yeah. And a lot of groups despise us because of that. They can't put us in a box, right? They're in a box. Yeah. I'm not treated the same as a Negro like Dr. Umar. We're not. We don't look the same. We're not the same race. I'm not treated the same as this guy. I know that for a fact because they always cry about it. You have light skin privilege. You have proximity to whiteness. They always cry about that crap. Like, you're the people who've literally told me we're not treated the same. So, and I agree with you. And now in my position, I'm like, yeah, you're right. We're not the same. I don't have the same experience as you. I don't know what the hell you go through. That's on you. I mean, you don't know what I'm going through, and I'm not going through like a whole lot of problems. I can tell you that. First world problems. I have access to clean drinking water, electricity, power, and food. I have like everything I need. I'm in a situation where like a lot of guys, do I want to say that? Yeah. Only for like recreational fun. A lot of guys are looking for purpose. This is my purpose. I have to invest more, expand upon this, but I'm in America. Like I have everything I need. So things are working out good for me. Let me continue on, fair use.
That's what they are. But the problem, the reason Betsy and Karen and Pat and Elizabeth cannot tell their child that they are black is because they have to admit to themselves. They would have to admit to themselves that they gave birth to an African child. And so the racism within.
And remember, I told you, according to their leader prophet, the pro-wax, John Henry Clark said that an African child cannot come from the womb of a European woman. So these people are the confused ones. Their philosophies are contradiction. They have contradicting philosophies. It's the first thing you notice when you listen and analyze, you watch their lectures, their videos, you read their material. You're like, somebody is not making sense here. Okay. Fair use.
In the white mother, the racism within the white mother, the racism within the white mother forces her into a state of denial. The racism within the white mother, the racism within the white mother forces her into a state of denial regarding the true race of her child.
Regarding the true race, like this guy, he's a psychologist. That's why the identity component is so important with him, because he wants to taint and to sabotage and influence the young generation to be foot soldiers, Pan-Africanist foot soldiers, to boost him up. He wants subordinate mulattoes. So he's a psychologist. He's not a biologist, a geneticist. He's not a doctor. I mean, he's not a doctor in regard like a medical doctor. I think he does have his PhD, whatever. So let me rephrase that. I don't want to put anything that's inaccurate. And so, yeah, the guy is not like, if a white woman has a child with a black man, that's a biracial child biologically. That is not an African child. So it's like he's trying to make it seem like, oh, you're going to confuse them on their race. Their race is biracial. We literally have a box. We have multiracial. Now, for me, I'm extremely specific in how I go about things. So there's less room for ambiguity. That's why I use mulatto. And there's other people who want to use other terms. They can do that on their channels. You have a social media channel. You can do all the other terms you guys want to do, if you want to, I'm not even going to get into the terms, but everybody else has these other terms. They want to put, oh, this group and that group. And no. On this channel, when you listen to the Mulatto Vanguard, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever I'm at, you know who I am, Mulatto Vanguard. I do mulatto specific content. So all the other stuff people share with me stuff about this group and that group. Okay, you can do that on your channel. That's fine, but please don't even try me and to push that stuff over here. I'm not altering this brand and this mission. And as I've already demonstrated, when you look at these pro-wax like Dr. Umar, their main issue is with mulattoes. Their main issue is not with these other groups, these other kind of mixed race groups, okay? Their main issue is with mulattoes, okay? So that's why me as a mulatto, we have to address this stuff. Continuing on, fair use.
So with that being said, if you are the black man with a snow bunny baby mother, if you are the black man with a snow bunny baby mother, if you are the black man with a snow bunny baby mother, you have your hands full, because your daughters, more than your sons, because see, with the boys, American racism is so powerful. South African racism is so powerful. Canadian racism is so powerful. French racism is so powerful.
It's so powerful. It's so powerful. You have to understand, guys like this grifter, they love racism because they're racist against biracials. We see it every day. So they're just as racist as their white massa. Their white massa taught them basically how to be racist towards us. And they work out secret deals with whites to go against mulattoes. This is all public knowledge now. So these black supremacists aren't fooling anybody. And yeah, like he points it out that racism is so powerful, so powerful. Look, he likes racism. Okay. What he doesn't like is his position in the deal that he gets being a non-competitive group, because race is competition. And a lot of these East Indians are racist. A lot of these Mexicans, Chicanos are racist. For me, in my experience, they're like more racist than white people where I come from in California. Just putting it out there. If you don't agree, put a comment. So it's like a lot of these groups are racist, okay, because they're competing, okay. But you have a non-competitive, proud victim class, and they're not even competing for power and resources. They're competing for white approval, and they'll never get it. And they know we'll get it more than them. That's why they hate on us. And it's, so they exert racism onto us, okay. And what they have is they have numbers. They have the demographics, the population numbers. Unfortunately, a lot of us mulattoes were stuck in their group. And I'm not trying to pull them out. If you're comfortable kissing black butt and being a subordinate, that's on you. I'm not trying to influence them and, hey, join my team. No, 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 no. Okay, the people who want to be here, they're gonna find me. They're gonna do research. They're gonna look up, type it in, whatever mulatto. They'll find me, and they'll want to be here. They'll want to support. I want people who are like proud supporters. Basically, I'm not trying to I'm not recruiting anybody. I'm not doing this for numbers. It's already going to organically grow. It's just inevitable because of the growth trajectory. The numbers warrant it. Everywhere I go and I see these young mulattoes. Now, like I said, this Dr. Umar guy, he wants them to just identify with him so they can serve him. And so it's interesting situation. Continuing on, fair use.
British racism, Irish racism, German racism, Italian racism, European racism is so strong that even if the boy is mixed race, he will sooner or later come to know that he is black.
The thing is with biracials, there comes a point of time in your life where black people will let you know that you're not black. That's the other part of the equation that Umar conveniently leaves out. And most biracials know this. They've been confronted with this. That's why they're searching for answers, and then they find my channel. They know the older you get, see, they love you when you're a kid. Oh, you're so cute. You're the cutest kid. You're mixed race, right? You're a biracial kid. Once that kid, like I was a kid once, yeah, everyone loved me, blah, blah, blah. Once you grow older, you grow old. Now they look at you as competition in the workplace, competition for jobs, competition for movie roles, competition for social acceptability, competition in the sexual marketplace, in a dating market. So yeah, once we become adults, then the racism, then it becomes real. The competition becomes real. So he leaves that part out of the equation as far as the fact that a lot of these blacks, they're jealous and envious of biracials. They look at biracials as competition. So they outgroup biracials and let them know, well, you're not black like me. You're not from the hood. You don't have two black parents. So he conveniently leaves that part out. And most of us biracials, if we grew up, like for me, I grew up with a lot of white, teachers, a lot of white, neighbors. Okay. Wasn't a quote unquote white community. It was actually pretty diverse, but I have a white mom. And I think, yeah, I don't know, was Anaheim and say the 90s, was it majority white? Probably, yeah. The black population, I'm just rough guesstimate, maybe like less than 5%. but the Latino population, maybe at that time, it was like, I don't know, 20%. Now it's probably like 60% in Anaheim. And and they have Vietnamese. So I grew up in a diverse area where I've all Vietnamese, Filipino, so Asian people, like people of other backgrounds were there. It wasn't all white. Um, but what I'm saying is that we grew up knowing that a lot of us through our experiences, that we weren't fully like a part of their group in the sense that we don't really look like them. Phenotypically, we look at ourselves. So we've already had that wake up call on that side. We've already experienced some form of racism or being outgrouped. Like I mentioned before, when I was a young kid in the Boy Scouts, and another guy, he called me a slave, and I was like 10 years old or something. 10, yeah, pretty young. And it was hard for me to fathom at that time, like, wait, what is this guy saying? So we've already experienced that stuff early on. It's just as we get older, then the blacks start to show us their true colors. Okay. And we see it all over social media. So yeah, he needs to tell both sides of the stories, but he won't conveniently. Fair use.
It's different with the boys because the black man is a threat. It's different with the boys because the black man is a threat. If the boy is mixed race, society will treat him in such a way that he knows he black and he's not.
Bull, BS. Because they always cry about the NBA. Oh, it's all biracials now. Man, they picked Barack Obama because he's mixed. They would have never got a black man in there like Wesley Snipes. The only reason why Drake is famous is because he's mixed. They didn't want to get a dark. They always whine and cry. Therefore, the society doesn't look at us the same. They don't treat us the same. And you know that. Stop gaslighting, Dr. Umar. Okay.
White. With the girls, it's a little different. With the girls, it's a little different. With the girls, they want to seduce the girls. They want to emotionally and psychologically seduce the black girls into thinking they're going to be accepted by white folks because they need the black girls to do the bidding of the white power structure against the black boys. I hope you heard what I just said. I hope you heard what I just said.
Now that's look, he's going to position it. He said they're mixed race girls, but he's going to call them black, of course, because that's what the pro blacks do. They in group and out group you to control you. But he's right there pushing a conspiracy because he's saying that, oh, well, those girls, they're going to be used to attack black men. And then the example they're going to use, these pro blacks, they're going to say Kamala Harris. Well, Kamala Harris is not a black woman. She has an Indian mom and a mixed race Jamaican father. So she's mixed, multiracial, she's not black. But they're going to try to position that, make this argument, as he did right there, about mixed race women, or he said black women being used to attack black boys. Yeah. I don't know. Everything you just said there doesn't sound fun. It sounds like a whole big struggle, but I have to talk about it, guys. I don't even want to even thinking about this right now. Like, why the hell am I wasting my time reviewing this video? We're already an hour deep into this, but it's like, we can't allow these people to just publicly talk about us and for us. We can't allow it. We have to let these other mulattoes know you got a voice, you got to analyze this information and act and move accordingly, which is develop your own situation. So like I said, according to Umar, he's like, oh, well, the whites won't accept you. Well, yeah, a lot of blacks don't accept mulattoes either. Good. I don't accept you either. I'm going to go do my own thing, develop my own community as what I'm doing now. That hasn't clicked with a lot of people. You know why? Because it takes work and effort. Like I said, a lot of mulattoes are just lazy. They feel like it's easier just to kind of try to fit in. And it's like with blacks and yeah, have fun. See how well it works out for you. A lot of you, it seems like it's not really working out. The men and the women. Okay. But you know it takes work to develop something. So stop being lazy, put the work in like a normal person, and let's get it cracking.
I hope you Negroes just heard what I said. I said, if it is a mixed race boy will be awakened to the realities of his race before the mixed race girl. The mixed race boy will know at 4, 5, and 6, he's not white. The mixed race.
Yeah, he's not black either. He's mixed race. But according to this Kang, Dr. Umar, it's like I said, this binary nature, he wants to think, oh, you got to pick a side. I'm not picking the losers, okay? And I've already picked my side. I'm sticking with mulattoes. Now, I'm an American, but I understand the reality of the situation, the competitiveness of the society, and ultimately I'm mulatto. And look, and our numbers are growing. That's a little bit why I'm pretty arrogant, a little cocky up here, because I look around me and I'm like, look, you people are going to basically turn me into a martyr. Okay. Once you people start attacking us or attacking me merely for being mixed race, you're only helping the fact out that we are going to be a solidified, protected class, a legitimate group in a nation. Once they start to see these people attack us more and more and more, it will strengthen our claims for a autonomy. Okay. So my whole position is, yeah, I'm not trying to get acceptance from the whites or trying to get acceptance from the black. I'm merely existing as mulatto, and there's literally millions out here like me, and I'm basically providing a service for them to give them another option, saying, don't listen to these failed preachers like Dr. Umar. Don't, who are trying to hustle you and use you as a crash test dummy to make you think, to fool you, trying to present the idea that you only have this option or that option. They're not going to let you know that you have the mulatto option. You have the mulatto option. If you don't see your option out there, create it. Fair use.
Boy will know at 6, 7, and 8, he's not white. The mixed race girl might not find out until she's a teenager, because America likes to seduce the mixed race black girl, because women are not the threat. Women only become the threat when they stand with their man. Black women are not the threat. Black women only become a threat when they stand with their man. Black women are not the threat. Black women only become the threat when they stand by their man. That's why feminism is so important to the destruction of the black family. That's why feminine.
It's already done though, bro. Like he's like preaching and he repeats himself multiple times. Says, you know, I'm definitely gonna do part two. I'm gonna do probably maybe 10, 15 more minutes and finish the rest of this another day. I'm not gonna be up here all night listening to this guy. But he said feminism, it's like it's already done, bro. Like the women in that community have so much power they're wielding over the men. That's why the men now are grabbing their passports, like trying to get the hell out of here, because they're like, you're not gonna like win. Most of you guys aren't, or you'll just, basically repeat the cycle of, single motherhood. I'm not wishing that upon anybody, but I'm just looking at the kind of the trends. I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, well, the divorce rates are really high, even within white families. The highest, uh, the least amount. I hope I can articulate this accurately. Where we see where divorce, the numbers are at the least is in with the Asian American community here in America. But if you examine like the white community, the black community, their numbers are way higher than Asian American. Black families have the highest numbers. I don't have the raw data in front of me right now, but trust me, if you ask for it, I can pull it up quickly. I don't want to get sidetracked, but I think this is kind of public knowledge, guys, that we know. And yeah. So the whole feminism thing with the intact families, it's like, look, I don't think you can win that situation. Like, how do you reverse that? 75+% out of wedlock birth rate, the universities, like the pro LGBT, the pro feminism, the intersectional feminine, like how can you got to just get the hell away from that situation? It's just already, they're like diseasing the whole culture. It doesn't look good, man. It doesn't look good. How are you gonna fight that? They've already have so much power and so much backing now and influence to where it's like you gotta just create your own situation. Fair use.
Feminism is so important when it comes to the destruction of the black family. Right? Feminism must be used to destroy the black family. And so with the boys, they don't care if they green eyes, straight hair. If that boy is black, white America will let him know. He going to get referred for special ed.
And if that boy is light skinned and got green eyes, black America is gonna let him know. See, that's part of the equation that he conveniently leaves out. That the vicious racism that these blacks are going to give towards the biracials, they always conveniently leave that part out. You notice that? Like I said, no accountability. They got to put all the blame on their white massa. It's the white massa's fault. The white massa is the one who made me have low self-esteem. It's his fault. Don't look at me. Yeah, I just love how they always leave that part out. But it's okay. I'm here to let you guys know.
He gonna get suspended. He gonna get expelled. He gonna get put on Ritalin, Adderall, Concerta, ADHD.
All that stuff happened to me. You know why? Because I was a bad kid. Lack of discipline. Okay. My father only had so much influence to where it lasted when he was around. But when he wasn't around, when he left the picture, it's like, yeah, I mean, boys need discipline. That's what you see. That it's not just with mixed kids, it's with black kids. You wonder why there's so many damn problems, because there's not men in the household. And there's been other like political commentators who've already like publicly expressed this, like Candace Owens or Larry Elder. You got to take accountability in your own community when most of your households are raised by single women. And these young boys, they're not going to like fall under the kind of guidance or influence under that woman. They're going to go to the street. They're going to look for other men to get guidance from and seek camaraderie from. And like they're going to end up getting kicked out of school and expelled, because he mentioned all this stuff. Like he's trying to act like it only pertains to us as biracials. I was like, look, I was a bad kid. Yeah, I got kicked out of school, expelled, and all that shit. I was like, yeah. I'm reflecting on it now because, like, working in education, I can see that. I was like, yeah, I was one of these bad kids, man. I was pretty bad. I was pretty bad as a kid, and I deserved the consequences. They weren't harsh or severe, but yeah, getting like kicked out of school or suspended or crap like that, or getting like referred to take Ritalin. I went through all that. Yeah, I was a bad kid. That's life. And that's happens with every demographic, but certain demographics, it happens more because there's obvious factors that people don't want to address. Fair use.
Conduct disorder. The mixed race black boy is going to be awakened to his race sooner than later. The mixed race black girl is going to be psychologically and emotionally seduced into thinking she's a part of the power structure, because they need black women to help them destroy black men. They need black women to help them destroy black men.
The same black queen, like Cynthia G, synthetic weave. It's funny because he actually addressed Cynthia G as a queen. I found that to be so repulsive. I think it was on like Fox Soul or something like that. They had like a panel, and Cynthia G was up there and Dr. Umar was up there. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys probably saw a clip of it or something. It was like a year ago or something. I saw a clip of it. Literally, Dr. Umar called Cynthia G a queen. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This is the same Cynthia G who's literally, like, as he put it, they're weaponizing black women to be against black men. And you have that type of woman that's right in front of you and you call her a queen. I mean, this guy, this Dr. Umar, is so defunct. This is just merely for entertainment purposes only. You cannot take this grifter seriously. Okay, fair use.
Need black women to help them destroy black men. So let me go on. If you are a black man with children to a white woman, you have to sit your snow bunny queen down. Listen to me, snow bunny loving brothers. Listen to me, please, snow bunny loving black children. I'm doing this seminar for the benefit of the children, not you. You done already screwed up. I'm doing this seminar for the benefit of my mixed race brothers and sisters.
We're not yours. He says, my brothers. You're not my brother. You're not my brother. As soon as I hear you people push this black nationalist, pan-Africanist stuff, I've literally severed all ties with you. I don't even deal with you. You positioned yourself to be opposition to me and to other mulattoes. That's just period, point blank. So I'm not a part of your community. You're not my people. I don't identify with you. That's it. Okay. But this idea we're going to get out here and publicly speak about us and we're just going to sit there and just listen. No, no, no. Now I got the microphone. Now I'm talking. Okay. Fair use.
being raised by your snow bunny queen. So black men, you have to sit your snow bunny queen down. Black men, you have to sit your snow bunny queen down and you have to tell her, listen, these children are black.
No, the children are mixed race. I hate it's so like irritating how this guy is like weaponizing the one drop rule on us, trying to enforce this crap, this identity confusion, this black identity confusion on us. It's so irritating listening to this guy, man. I'm like, oh my God, you have to pay me. I'm doing a public service for you guys, but I'm like, I'm sitting there like, geez, this is irritating. The children aren't black. They have a white mom. They're biracial. They're mixed. And he's upset, the frustration in his voice because he doesn't have influence over the next generation, which with each generation, in the future, they realize that they're going to have a position where they can be themselves fully. They're not the old, flawed, archaic paradigms are going to change. What they always do with every generation. The civilization evolves and changes. And we're making way for us moving into the future. And so he's losing influence. Okay, he's losing influence. They're losing numbers, and they're upset. Person like him's upset about that. So he wants to literally blackwash everything.
Yes, they have a white mother. Yes, they have white relatives.
Exactly. And there's nothing this little grifter can do about that. You think a biracial person is going to throw their own white parent under the bus for this internet grifter? Sadly, there's some who do because their need for acceptance and belonging is so high, so severe, because they don't know that a channel like this, a space like this exists. Like I said, we have to let them know they have another option. Once they realize they can identify with other mulattoes, it's a wrap. They're going to stop all their support. They're going to stop watching Umar. They're going to realize they've wasted enough time. Okay.
Yes, they have white family. Yes, they have white grandmothers, but they are black. Black is the dominant gene. It
Black is not the dominant gene.
is the most dominant gene of the human family.
The black gene is not the most dominant gene of the human family. Okay. Let me give you an example. So this is your quarterback who just won 2 times in a row. I think he won 3 Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes, that is. He won 3 Super Bowls, but he won the recent one and he won the one before that. Okay, 2 in a row Super Bowls. You can see the image here. This is a biracial mulatto guy, same configuration as me. Black father, white mother. Okay, American stock here. It's the best quarterback on the planet, mulatto man. This is his wife here. There looks like Disneyland, right? And these are his 2 kids, his 2 babies. Okay. And literally within one generation, the African, you know, gene has been literally like erased. This is not the black is not dominant. Look, okay, another picture here. This is his father here, who's the only dark skinned person up there, right? You look at Patrick Mahomes, yeah, he has a black dad. He's not black. Yeah, you look at him. He's literally like one shade, darker than his wife. If that, he's like literally more white than black. The black gene is not dominant. Look at his children. Beautiful family. That's what I'm saying. Like these pro wax, I saw on TikTok, someone was trying to pull this crap with Mariah Carey today, even earlier today. I was looking at one of my comments. Someone replied, was saying Mariah Carey's children, they're considered black. I'm like, where? You look at them, they look more non-black than black. Mariah Carey's not even half black. Her father was like a mixed, like an Afro Venezuelan, I believe. And then her Mariah Carey's mother was like Irish American or something. So Mariah Carey, looking at her, she's probably like 30% with African or something like that. And then she's with Nick Cannon. And then like you look at her kids, like you know, they don't look black to me. Like, am I making this up, guys? Right. So we already know. Um, yeah, we already know. What do you call it? What was it? I was just thinking. Yeah. Oh, okay. What do you call it? Patrick Mahomes. Just lost my train of thought. Patrick Mahomes. You saw it. Like the African gene is not the black gene's not dominant. Patrick Mahomes proves that. Okay. But then I saw this earlier. Or a discussion I had earlier. Mariah Carey, her children are literally like, phenotypically, facial symmetry, skin complexion, they're like the same. Her children look more like her than they do the father. Look at Nick Cannon here. Okay, the phenotype, their facial bone structure, their skin complexion, they resemble more of the multiracial mother than they do of Nick Cannon, the father. So yeah, the black gene is not dominant. I mean, these are just two examples, guys, but I can go on and on and on with these examples. And you guys probably know for sure, you're my audience. You're the smart ones. You guys know for sure.
White is the most recessive gene of the human family.
Yeah. Okay. And remember, this guy's not a scientist. He's not a biologist, a geneticist. He's just using these are, black nationalist pseudoscientific talking points, and they mirror the white nationalists because the white nationalists say the same thing about blacks. But see, it's not publicly acceptable for a white nationalist to say these things. Oh, the blacks are inferior, the blacks are not as intelligent, right? That's not publicly acceptable. But for whatever weird reason on social media, it's publicly acceptable for a black nationalist like Dr. Umar to say, oh, the whites are recessive. To say it's like, how is that publicly acceptable? And remember, he's using the white man's, internet that the white man developed, using a white man's, media platform like YouTube to spew all this anti-white BS. It's like, and who questions this stuff? Like, who challenges it? What I'm saying is that, like I said, he sounds just like the white supremacist he cries about, talking about this recessive and dominant and all this. Yeah, fair use.
So even if that little girl comes out of that snow bunny womb, white as snow, even if that little African princess comes out of that snow bunny womb, white as snow, you have to let your snow bunny queen, who is in denial about her daughter being black, you have to let your snow bunny queen, who is in denial about her daughter being black, you have to let that snow bunny queen know, even though she looks white right now.
Even though she looks white, right? Like, what do you call it? I was just thinking about something. Yeah, like Meghan Markle, right? Meghan Markle looks more European than African. And even Meghan Markle, that's another prime example. The black gene is not dominant because Meghan Markle with the prince, there's a Henry or Harry, the guy in the UK. Apologize if I don't remember, but they have a child. I know the child's name is Archie. It's kind of an unusual kind of name. That's why I remember it. But I saw like a baby picture of art, and I'm like, the black gene is not dominant. Okay, Meghan Markle and then her husband, they have a kid. It's like that's not an African child, and you have these black nationalists who try to lie to you. You know, like where the hell is the dominant black gene? Come on, guys. People are still like believing this type of foolishness. They obviously they do because with my media, I see this type of crap. Like I said on TikTok, someone was trying to argue with me with Mariah Carey, and I'm like, look, Mariah Carey is not black, and her children don't even look black. They look more multiracial than anything. Black is not dominant. It's like we have so many examples. Patrick Mahomes, Mariah Carey, Meghan Markle, the on and on. Even Sage Steele, another example. I'll give you guys. Okay, another public figure. Sage Steele has a darker skin mulatto woman. Okay. And Sage Steele, her children don't look black at all. Like, they do not look black at all. That black gene, that African gene is not dominant at all. There's so many examples I can give you guys. I'm going to continue on. Like I said, I'm not going to be here all night, guys. I've already been here for an hour and a half. I'm going to break this up. I'm going to try to play maybe like 15 more minutes of this. I know it's kind of it's kind of tedious because like the guy, like someone put a comment, I think it was Val or somebody was like, this guy repeats himself 3 friggin' times. Like every time he says something, he repeats it. So it takes some time up, but yeah, fair use.
Even though she looks white right now, even though she looks white right now, by the time she goes to kindergarten, the great divine mother of Africa is going to start manifesting herself. By the time she goes to kindergarten, the great African divine feminine is going to start manifesting herself. You're going to start seeing the African kinks in her hair. You're going to start seeing her nose might spread a little bit. Her lips might get a little fuller. Her ears are going to get a little browner around the edges. When she get to middle school, her body is going to start forming like a black woman's body. She's not going to have the cave booty of the...
You see that? The racist language, the cave booty. He said like cave dweller or something is racist. He calls it Becky and all this Karen. The thing is, when I saw some of this clip the other day, I was like, oh, let me talk about this. This is a good one. But I remember thinking about it, like because when he first started out, he said, sit your flat ass down. He's like, you Becky, I want you to listen. Sit your flat. And I'm thinking to myself, bruh, there's an entire like demographic of white women. It's funny, we kind of colloquially we'll say POG. Okay. PAWG. All jokingly put in some chats, I'll be like POG's faux life. Right? A POG, PAWG, which is an acronym for a fat ass white girl. Yeah, PWAG. Yeah. Wait. Excuse me. I'm tripping. PAWG. Let me put that in the chat. PAWG. Fat ass white girl. Okay. So this idea that flat booty or a cave booty, and I'm like, nah. There's a lot of European women out here that have big round booties. And like I said, a lot of the men will colloquially will call it POG, fat ass white girl. Okay. I know I kind of said a lot right there, kind of twisted my words up, but I just wanted to point that out, that it's like, if there's any demographic of women that are not really known to have the backside, it would be more so Asian women, not really European or white women. Because depending on they have a term they use, corn fed, right? Depending on the women, where they're at, their environment, what they're eating, their diet, there's genetic factors for sure. But yeah, that's there. And I'm in America, man. In America, like there's so many white women that have, big booties. And those are the women that are going to attract pretty much black men the most. So I just wanted to point it out. And let me see. Check out some of your comments real quick before I continue on. What about them pretending black women have the best bodies in the USA at 5'4" and 185 on average? That's the funny thing, where someone's even made a joke about that, where it's like, where like if they have the belly, but they don't have the boobs or the butt, because the proportion I think was what guys like. Because I like women that are a little thick as well, with some meat on their bones. But it's like, well, the butt and the breast have to be bigger than the stomach. Okay. So, and there's a lot of women who aren't built like that. A lot of black women. But that's just a stereotype that they're using, that, oh, that all the black women have the best butts. It's funny because there's a lot of black women that already have booties, but they're still getting BBLs. Like the BBL thing within the black culture and a African American culture is pretty popular, right? We know that. We know that there's a lot of black women that get BBLs. So it's like, well, I thought you already have like a nice booty. Why are you getting some surgery there? Okay. But that's neither here or there. Let me continue on for use.
Caucasian. She's going to end up with a plump African rump. That girl is going to metamorphose. That girl is going to metamorphose into a black woman. So let your snow bunny queen know that my daughter looks white because she just came from a white womb. But the ancestor in her is an African.
The ancestor in her is a European, possibly a Viking. I don't know. I'm a Afro-Germanic mulatto, so I have ancestors in Germany, just like my sister. Okay, my sister is the same as me. She has ancestors in Germany. So look, the black gene is not dominant. We have African ancestors. But we also have European ancestors, and you don't, Umar. I think that's why you're kind of hating. You can't call on the European ancestors like I can. Come on. I'm going to call on the African ancestors. That's like paganism. A lot of that kind of the deity worship and stuff, burning sage, and it's all this witchcraft and paganism that a lot of these people promote. This is the Pan-Africanism. They use a lot of that kind of, they call it African spirituality, but there's a lot of like paganism there, right? Fair use.
My daughter looks white because she just came from a European womb. But the African ancestor in her is sooner or later going to start manifesting herself. This is an African goddess. This is not a snow bunny.
An African goddess with the white mom. Do you guys hear that? In all the black people listening, watching, especially the black women, because I do have black female audience members. You guys hear that? Your guys' favorite pro-whack grifter sitting there saying that this his preference, he wants the biracial woman. We know that. The Kangs love their preference, biracial woman. Not all, but a lot do. It's very noticeable. And you guys hear him say that? Talk about this African woman, got a white mom, but you're an African woman. Well, how does the African woman feel when if you're putting her on the same level, when Dr. Umar should be uplifting his phenotype, his counterpart, African woman, the phenotype is being the standard. Because what I do on this channel is I uplift the mulatto aesthetic, the mulatto phenotype as being the standard. So that's why I always share images, especially on like my Instagram, of like mulatto women. Usually I'll share like Sade or Alicia Keys or something like that. So I'll share those women to say, yeah, this is the preferred phenotype aesthetic. This is the standard for a guy like me. But you notice he doesn't do that. He wants to kind of open up the door to bring in these half white women. And I'm just saying, like, to these black women who support this guy, do you guys not see what he's doing to you? He's trying to push you aside to bring in his true preference, which is the woman who's half European. The grift is over, man. The grift is going to dry up pretty soon, Dr. Umar. Okay, fair use.
She came out of a snow bunny, but she is an African goddess. And sooner or later, the great African divine feminine, sooner or later, the great African divine feminine will manifest itself. So
yeah, it didn't manifest itself in Kamala Harris now, did it? Because you look at her, does that look like an African woman? And I'm not hating on her, the Miss Vice President, but I'm looking at her like she looks more Indian, East Indian than anything. Come on, man. It's not an African. These one droppers are crazy.
I need you, my snow bunny queen, to understand, and I hope all white women are watching. I want my white mothers to watch who
only the ones, he's like, I hope all my white women are watching. I doubt it. Why would they waste their time listening to this grifter? Okay. I was at my local community gym earlier, and there's a bunch of white women. That was pretty much, it was all white women. I think a couple Hispanics in the gym today. And yeah, they're too busy with taking care of their families, taking care of their home, staying in shape at the gym. They're not going to spend time. That's why I'm doing this at nighttime, me, myself, anyways. Like, this is late at night for me. I'm not going to spend my daytime, my precious hours during the day, listening to this friggin' grifter. This is just for educational purposes for my audience. Okay. But yeah, white women, are they going to listen to you? No. His audience, like I said, are the vulnerable, disgruntled, kind of hopeless community queens, unfortunately. Single mothers in particularly. That's his market. That's a demographic he serves. Okay. Which is pretty obvious. Okay.
Really care about your black children. I want my white mothers to watch if you really care about your black children. If you are a white woman,
It's a white mother, therefore the child's half white, therefore it's a biracial child. It's not a black child. We've already went over this. The black gene is not dominant. You have a white mother, you came out of the womb of a white woman. Just like all you pro-wax, you black nationalists, your favorite scholars and lecturers like John Henry Clark, who famously said, no African child can come out of the womb of a European woman. It's like, you guys got to make up your mind. Now you got Umar who wants to change the rules and say, oh no, they're African, they're black. They have a white mom. Okay, blacks don't have white moms. Black people have black moms. It's, very simple to understand.
woman who cares about your mixed race African children, you need to be listening right now. And you need to share this video right now. And everybody who know a black man with children with a white woman, Elaine McCoy, let me block you because you have no business being on my live. Elaine McCoy, you are banned. Nobody asked you what you thought. If you don't like the message, why are you watching the man? If you don't like the message, why are you watching the man?
This is for public consumption. This is an educational service that I'm providing to my audience. As I stated, I cater specifically to mulattoes. It's a public forum, a public platform. Anybody can tune in and be involved in the conversation. But I'm speaking for people who oftentimes feel like their voices are not heard. So I've established my own platform so that their voices can be heard, their stories can be told, and we have a voice. That is literally the basis for identity formation and community development. I am providing a space for these people. So that's the reason why I'm over here. I mean, I'm over where I'm at, in my spot, in my lane. But I saw this little video pop up on the algorithm and I'm like, okay, why not? Let's get into it.
If you don't like the message, why are you watching the man? I care about my mixed race African children. I care about your mixed race.
He only cares about you if he can use you. He doesn't see you as your own person. Remember, he's going to weaponize the one drop rule to be his crash test dummy, to be his foot soldier. So he only cares about you if there's something in return for him, meaning he wants you to fight his battles for him. And you're going to have to fight harder than him because you're going to have to prove your blackness. You're going to have to prove your worth. You're going to have to prove your trust to him. He's going to be sitting on his ass, eating chicken wings, playing Xbox, chasing all the biracial and light-skinned women. And that's what they all do. He's going to be doing the same thing like Tariq Nasheed, married to a biracial woman, right? So he's going to be sitting on his butt. Since he's already black, he doesn't have to prove anything. He's going to be just playing video games, chasing biracial women. But oh no, when you, the biracial, when you show up, he's going to try to position you. You got to do some work, boy. You got to prove yourself that you're black, that I can trust you, because I don't trust you because you're biracial. And according to history, biracials sided with the whites against the blacks. Isn't that what all these black nationalists say? In Haiti, the mulattoes sided with the whites. In ancient Egypt, the mulattoes sided with the whites. They literally have philosophies out here with these pro-blacks who push this crap. And I'm trying to tell these mulattoes, man, you got to get the hell away from these people. Once they start pushing this pro-whack, pan-Africanist crap, get the hell away from them, okay? Fair use.
Race African children. I care about our mixed race African children, and I want them raised correctly. I want them raised correctly.
He wants them raised correctly. Why doesn't he just focus on raising the black people correctly first? With all the crime, all the dysfunction and chaos, why doesn't he focus on that? Like all the abuse and all the crap that happens in the community. But see, he looks at us as being an extension because they want, remember, they want to use you to serve blacks, right? They look at you as a utilitarian population to serve their interest. Okay. That's why they're so invested in you. Because someone's made a question about that before on my one of my videos or posts. They're like, why are they care so much about mixed race people? Because they need us more than we need them. We don't need them. We just ask just to be a part of their group or like membership access. So most of us, I can say that probably a lot of us here in America have just asked just to be kind of accepted in their group. They want a place of belonging. Well, a lot of us, we got our biracial wake up call. The blacks let you know you're not a part of their family. And I'm just one of the guys out here who took that information. Is like, okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. Now I'm going to build my own community. So here we are today.
I want them raised correctly. So here's what the black man has to tell the snow bunny mother of his African children. Here's what the black man has to tell the snow bunny mother of his African children. You have to say, listen, I understand you are white. I understand your family is white. My children are black. And I
It's a complete contradiction. The children are just as white as they are black, thereby meaning they're biracial. That's not complicated to understand, right, guys? I think most of you guys, you've been following me or watching my videos for some time. You understand that. But these one droppers, man, they love to weaponize their masses one drop rule against you. Remember, and that's to pull you into their group so you can do their bidding for them. You can take all the hits. You could be their crash test dummy, fighting their battles, right?
need you to have a conversation with your family so that everybody is clear that these kids are not mixed racial, they not biracial, they not quad racial.
Yes, we are multiracial. Yes, we are biracial. Yes, we are. See, he knows that going into the future now, you look at all these government documents and applications where they're asking you, how do you identify? What is your race? And then you see everywhere now, multiracial is an option. I think I have one even right now. I'm talking about it because I collect all this information. Whenever I see like an application or something, some survey I'm filling out, I might be able to just pull up one example real quick since I'm mentioning it. Why not? Because I'm going to share it on my platform anyways at some time. That's what I do. I provide this information here. Yeah, two or more races is very common as well. Okay, let me share this one. This is a good one. Let me pull it up right now. Apologize for that minor delay. I think I can get this in here. Let's see. How can I share this? Let's see what I can do. Copy. Damn. Apologize, guys. Just trying to figure out how I can share this. I don't think I can. Okay, whatever. Wish it would have came a little more prepared. See if I can put this here. Won't let me. Forget about it. Okay, yeah. I wanted to share that. I'll share it on this channel eventually anyways. I have a lot of, screenshots I take of applications, but whatever. A visual would be very nice. But basically this image that I have, it's saying that it lets you prefer to self-describe. They have an option. You can self-describe how you want, and the option there is mulatto. And that's the option that I put there. I put the option mulatto there because that's how I identify. So, and that's what I'm getting back to is that's what Dr. Umar is afraid of. He's afraid that he knows that this biracial option, this multiracial option, these options are now available for us to identify. And he is upset about that. He wants us to just be black because they're losing influence in society. Remember, they want to use you, keep you as a subordinate serving them. They want to claim all your wins, like Charles Drew, Bob Marley. They want to claim every biracial as being just a black when they're just as white as they are black. So they're losing that influence. So they need you to just identify as black, right?
They not almost white, they are black. I do not want my children being confused.
See, and we have to push back on that, because this is typical with the black supremacists. Their rhetoric is to say biracials are confused. Now, a biracial person who has a white parent and a black parent, and they only identify, as say just black, that's a confused individual. Or if they just identify as white, knowing that they have presentable features, their phenotype would suggest that they have African heritage, but they just identify as just white, then that individual, if they just identify with one side, then that's up to confusion, right? The whole idea here is to create balance. And for me, the mulatto encompasses that balance, a fusion where it's not a split from this side and that side. It's a fusion. The two are coming together to create a new entity. It's this wholeness to create one, which is mulatto. And this is precisely what I'm striving for, this balance. And this is why mulatto works best for me. So, yeah, I think I articulated that effectively.
I need you to understand that. You gave birth to a black child. It was a black seed that fertilized your Neanderthal eggs.
You guys see, like I say, the anti-white racism, Neanderthal eggs. It was a black seed that, fertilized your Neanderthal eggs. He said cave dweller. And then he said Becky, flat booty Becky or something. And then you just heard him say Neanderthal. So this is a black supremacist racist. And it's like, if you are a biracial person and you only identify with a black racist like this, oh, I'm just black, I'm half black. Like, yeah, you're confused. He wants you to be confused serving him. How the hell can you go out here hating yourself, identifying with somebody who hates the fact that you're partially white, who hates white people or hates your white family? He just wants you to identify with him. This is a sick and twisted individual here. Okay. But then again, you kind of look at his results and it kind of makes sense.
It was a black African divine seed that fertilized your Neanderthal egg. The baby is African, whether you like it or not, and that baby will give birth to more African children.
And we guys, that's bullshit. We already went over that. Meghan Markle, Sage Steele, Patrick Mahomes, Mariah Carey. Even Mariah Carey, she's had children with Nick Cannon, who's black. Maybe Nick Cannon, yeah, he has some admixture for sure. We know that he's not fully kind of Bantu. You look at his facial structure. He's got some white genes. If he did a DNA test, he'd probably have, more, maybe 10% or more or something European. But he's not. That doesn't make him mulatto or biracial. Just to let that be known for all for all you types, you golden types, whatever, MGM. So yeah, he said that that mixed child, they have a kid that's gonna be black. No, it's not. Meghan Markle, Patrick Mahomes. See, they want you to identify as black so you could be reabsorbed. So because they want your mating patterns. If you're a biracial person, they want you to be with a black person so they can absorb you and neutralize you. That's their way to control you. So they need you to identify with them so you can mate with them and they can produce more, that's what it is. That's all it is. Because what if that mulatto produces with another mulatto, like Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet? Then they have Zoe Kravitz, a mulatta. Or Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats, they have a child. It's Steph Curry and his wife, they have a child. See, and that's what he's afraid of, because he's made videos about that, saying Black America is going to be mixed race in the next 10 years. See, he wants all the mixed people to just date the blackest thing out there. No, I'm going to get the best woman I can out here. Okay. I have a preference. I have an in-group preference for mulatto women, and so that's basically my standard. That's what I like. But let's be honest, I like all women. Not all women literally. I have standards, but I have a preference as well. And I'm not on some pro whack shit where I gotta prove my blackness, so I'm gonna go get a black woman. Fuck out of here. Like, I entertained that crap for a couple years in my 20s, but I've matured a lot since then. All right, fair use.
These girls are not giving birth to white kids. When they have children, those children will be black.
No, they won't. Meghan Markle's daughter, Archie, or son, excuse me, Archie, Meghan Markle's child. And then also, I think Halle Berry, I haven't seen a picture of her child. Yeah, but Halle Berry has a child from a white man. I believe he was like a model, a European, a French model or something. And her child, I know damn well her child's not black. Same thing with Sage Steele. So don't let this internet grifter lie to you. Black is not dominant. We can see that when these mulatto women get with either mulatto men or non-black men, the kids aren't black, homie. So miss me with all that.
And then you tell her they need black dolls, African black dolls, not the ones with the blonde hair. Not the ones with the blonde hair. We're not giving that. No, 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 no. My daughters will not be taught to worship white standards of beauty. You do not give my children white doll babies. They get black doll babies. They can get every shade. Give them a chocolate fudge doll baby.
No. If it's a biracial daughter or a biracial girl, okay, get her a doll that resembles a biracial. That's what I'm going to do. And they have all this stuff now. This stuff is already in development. I mean, you can literally create your own, you can order your own toys, you can like make your own stuff. 3D printing, but there's also services I know where you can literally like design your own like action figure or doll or something, and you can like literally the factory, the manufacturer, you can make your own crap now. So if I have children, yeah, I'm gonna have them create a doll in their image. It's funny thinking about this right now. I gave all these celebrity examples of these biracial women. I didn't even mention personal examples like my own sister. My own sister has children, and those children do not look black at all because they're not. They have like what? They're like basically Europeans with admixture. My sister and me, we're 50-50. And my sister looks way more, I don't know, say way more, but she looks blacker than me, but clearly mixed. And yeah, my sister's children, like they're not black at all. Like they don't look black at all. It's insane. Like, that one drop rule is like so old and flawed and archaic. But the only people who are really pushing this, it's not even white people, it's these pro-blacks. Because they're losing power and influence. They never even had it in society, but they try to wield influence through biracials. And what they do that is with membership access. They know mulattoes want their own space. They know mulattoes not want their own. Well, some of them want our own space. I know I do, but they know mulattoes want acceptance. They want belonging. So what they do is they wield this kind of membership access over them, right? To get them to do their bidding for them. So that's the only way that they have power in society, because these pro-blacks have no power against whites or Hispanics or Asians, no other group. It's only when it comes to this biracial discussion. That's why these people are so hell-bent on kind of policing how you identify.
Give them a sweet brown sugar doll baby. Give them a butter almond doll baby. Give them a butter pecan doll baby. And give them a French vanilla African doll baby. Give them a African vanilla doll baby. Give them every color. Don't just give them blue, black, purple, because we come in.
And African vanilla. That's pretty funny. It's like chocolate vanilla. Give them a chocolate vanilla doll. He said African vanilla. That's funny.
every shade. Give them every color of African, but there's no need for my daughters to have a white doll baby. And she's going to say, your snow bunny baby mom. Your snow bunny baby mom is going to say, why can't my daughters have a white doll baby? And you're going to say, why do they need a white doll baby when they have you to look at all day? Why do my black daughters need a white doll baby when they have a white mother to look at
If they have a white mother, that's not a black daughter. That's a biracial daughter. Just got to correct this buffoon, right?
all day? Why do my white daughters need a white doll baby when they have a white grandmother to look at all day? Nigel, you disrespected Sister Barbara. You got to go, Nigel. Sister Barbara is a friend of mine. You're out. No disrespecting black women on here. No disrespecting black women on here. No disrespecting black women on my platform. Sister Barbara, he's gone. I don't accept black men.
It's funny. I wonder if he has the same standards like with disrespecting black men, right? Because we, like I said, we already know he caters to black women. So it's funny if he had black women disrespecting black men, would he have the same type of standards? I'm gonna block you from my channel. Get out of here, right? I doubt it. Continuing on, fair use.
And disrespecting black women. You do that shit somewhere else. You do. See, we have to reinstate law and order in the black community. We have to reinstate law and order in the black community. We have to reinstate law and order in the black community. If you just checked in, this is Dr. Umar Ifatunde, Doctor of Clinical Psychology, Certified School Psychologist, Certified School Principal. I'm giving a seminar on how to raise mixed race African children.
Who the oxymoron there, mixed race African. That's a whole mouthful right there. A mixed race, were they born in Africa? No, they're born in America. Okay, yeah, they're not African. And they're mixed, so they're not black. Yeah, we get it. But these crazy ass one droppers, I want to say that like because he said a seminar. Who the hell is going to go to seminar? You know how hostile and racist he is to white people, sitting there calling them cave dweller and Neanderthal. If you're white, like you wouldn't even feel comfortable. I wouldn't. I'm biracial. I don't even feel comfortable being around these people like that. These pro-wax I'm talking about. Because you see how hateful and racist these black nationalists are. So like, who the hell is going to go to that mixed race seminar? What, a black guy with his mixed kids? In that seminar, he's going to try to weaponize the one drop rule. You got to make sure those kids identify as black, because if they identify as non-black, oh, the white society is going to use them against us. I'm like, bro, no, I'm not even against you people like that. I'm just trying to get away from a lot of you people. I can't deal with you if you're not dancing, entertaining me, because we see how toxic you people are and how racist and hateful you are. This is all public knowledge now at this point. And I'm sitting here like, I don't even deal with you people like that. So it's like they're going to try to position it with the conspiracies. Oh, the white man's going to use these mulattoes to be against us. Like, nobody's more against you than you yourselves, your own damn people. You people literally sold your own to be slaves to Arabs and Europeans. And all the degeneracy you people promote with hip hop, sexy red, and the rap music and all this stuff, you people are against yourselves more than anybody else out here. So you're not fooling me with this pro-whack BS, okay?
I'm giving a seminar on how to raise mixed race African children. So let me go back to where I was.
So he's going to ask for money, right? It's not going to be free. He's not doing nothing for free. He's a grifter, right? So he's going to have a seminar. So he's going to ask, black men to pay $10 to raise their biracial kids to be fucking pro-whack soldiers. And remember, this is coming from a guy, Dr. Umar, who I believe doesn't even have like custody of his children. He has like multiple kids by multiple women. He's continuing the communità tradition of having illegitimate children, bastard kids. Okay. So he doesn't even have ownership of his own family. I remember he did a live stream talking about how frustrated he was just based off the custody because his baby mamas wouldn't let him see the kids, right? So you're gonna literally take like family building advice. You're gonna take advice on raising a kids from a deadbeat dad. I mean, this is how absurd this crap is, man. This internet stuff, where it's like you can have guys come out here on the internet and gals, let's be clear, because you have these women who are friggin' grifters, like this Shira 7 individual who's like publicly like, if you deal with these men, make sure they pay you. It's like, bitch, I wouldn't pay you a penny. And I have money. I'm not giving you none. Fuck out of here. But you have some of these women who are so damn bold to get up here on the internet talking about don't even deal with these men if they're not paying you. Like, what? Really? You're gonna put that out there like that? Okay. But there's always enough simps. There's a simp market out here, unfortunately. But back to Umar, you have a guy like this who's out here talking like this. Like, who takes him seriously? Who's gonna pay for that service to raise mixed race kids? And it's like, bro, you don't even have custody of your own kids.
I digress. You have to tell your snow bunny baby mom or wife, my daughters are black. They don't need a white dot.
Their daughters are biracial. They're not black. Biracial. Guys, it's been a little over 2 hours. It's getting late. I'm going to continue back up again. I'm going to finish this off. This is, this guy is, I'm long-winded at times too. But this Dr. Umar guy, he repeats himself a lot. And it's kind of a lot to listen to. And I already did 2 hours of it. And honestly, I kind of have a little headache now. So I do want to get some rest and be back at it with part 2 next time. Let me see if you could check some comments. Respect to you. I respect you guys in the house today. So I'll do the honors to check out because I saw a couple here. I want to go over some of these. Hello, Mulatto. Here a video I wanted to share with you. And we see Val's in the house. DC's here. What's up, DC? And I think I shared this earlier. I said they had the opportunity to build in Africa, but they refused because they love white people. It's the same here in America. I'm pretty sure in Europe as well. You could find that. And in places like in South America, there's a language barrier because of Spanish and Portuguese, but we can probably examine and see some of the same behaviors there in the Caribbean, right? Where they have this infatuation and lust and this kind of love, like, sadomasochistic relationship. Well, yeah, they love white people. Yeah. They just don't like the people who are half white, half black, as Umar demonstrated, because they fear us. They feel like, yeah, that's what it is. Did you know Cape Verdean people are mulatto? Says when he disrespected SETI, he claimed he didn't know light dudes got mad. Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy because I met Umar right after that whole SETI thing went down. But I didn't watch that clip, right? I saw some of his other videos and but I like went back and I watched that clip like a couple months later. And it's like I was like, oh, I already met this guy. And it's like, oh damn, that's how he really felt. Like he'll smile in my face, be like, oh, what's up, brother? Right. But then when you really piss him off or say something, he'll attack you for your light skin and all this stuff. Yeah. They've been doing that for years, though. Kwame Brown basically spilled the beans on that. They look at biracials as being crash test dummies to serve blacks, right? And my whole thing is I look at these biracials like, why do you guys like being punks, man? I don't get it. I don't get how you like being punk like that. Umar sounds like someone off their meds. Very entertaining, never to be taken seriously for sure. Made fun of Umar, claiming he didn't know about colorism towards light men. He is no acknowledgement of his racism to SETI. Yeah, and he's gonna be like, that's what they do. They give all the excuses, right? You put he excused it by playing dumb to light tone colorism, never admitted he was wrong. That's what they do because there's no accountability. And then they'll act stupid, which they're very good at. And then they're also going to just blame the white man for the racism. Oh, I learned it from the Willie Lynch letters and the white people, They blame all their bad behaviors on someone else. Nothing's ever their fault, no accountability. So yeah, I'm not surprised. You'll have a black who will say something racist, and then they'll turn around and be like, "Well, blacks can't be racist because we could be prejudiced. We're not." And the black they'll literally say some racist crap, and then they'll literally, with a straight face, will tell you that they can't be racist. It's like when someone you can't I can't deal with people like that, man. I'm just like, okay, whatever, move away. I just remove all contact from that individual, block them, just move away. Like, I'm not going to talk to those individuals like that. His lack of logic is extraordinary. He's a good grifter, though. He's got a lot of people that support his grift. South African racism, against whom the mixed race and thus color population, obviously just look at some of these mixed race people, neighborhoods, excuse me, mixed race people live in SA, also incarceration rates. Yeah. I want to talk about that this month too, about South African colored, because they have some interesting statistics over there. Like you said, incarceration rates and some of their neighborhoods are very impoverished because they're a minority group, even though the whites are a minority group there, but the coloreds are as well. And so there's a lot of, you know, a lot of disparities that occur with that being a minority in whatever land you're in America or in South Africa. You put mixed race men in South Africa don't see themselves as black, but as, yeah, exactly, proudly colored, right? Just like the women too. You have the young woman, the artist, her name is Tyla, I believe. She's proudly South African colored. South Africa isn't the US. There's no one drop rule there. And African nations, yeah. The interesting thing, the one drop rule works in kind of reverse there in Africa, where they will literally one drop you into whiteness. So a guy like me, when I was in Ghana, I heard it several times. People will address me as a white man. They'll see the white in me and they'll say, "Oh, I'm white." And yeah, so if you're like an Arabic person, say from any other Arabic nation in North Africa that were doing business in Ghana or whatever, yeah, they would identify those people as being white. Even though here in America, we would say, "Oh, you're Arab, you're not Anglo-Saxon," right? So yeah, they'll one drop you into whiteness in a lot of the African nations. In fact, I think one colored guy was put on trial for calling and trying to classify himself as an African. They take a hard line at times in South Africa on that. Interesting. I don't doubt that at all. Let him come for us. I promise you, I respect my white mom just as they would a black mom. Yeah, they give us material to talk about. I mean, with this channel, I can just grow this channel and show the world that this is really what's going on out here. Mixed race, black, just describe, yeah, two things oxymoron, right? Good to know we are weapons and not people. Yeah, also utilities. They look at us as being used as a utilitarian population, literally. They want you to fight their battles for them. They're not comfortable with you just existing in their circles and their spaces because you'll be preferred. You'll be you'll get preferential treatment. You will get selected over them. They always whine and cry about these actors and they pick like a mixed actor. I remember there was a black guy who has a pretty big YouTube channel, who was whining and crying when the Batman movie came out a couple years ago. He was upset because the only African people in the film were mixed race. I don't know the man's name. He was a Commissioner Gordon. I forgot the gentleman's name. He's a mixed race guy. And then you had Zoe Kravitz in the film. But you see, to that dark skinned black African Bantu, he's African American, but he has the kind of Negroid Bantu features. To him, they don't want us mulattoes to represent them in media. They whine and cry about that when their white massa picks us to represent what being black is. They always whine and cry about that. So yeah, they're gonna let you know right away. So they look at you as being a utilitarian, a weapon to be used, a tool, right? They want you to be like a Colin Kaepernick or a Jesse Williams and fighting all their damn battles while they sit on their ass playing Xbox, eating chicken wings and chasing light-skinned women. Yeah. That's called being a subordinate, right? Is this the way he makes the videos longer? Yeah, repeating it 10 times. Yeah, I saw that comment you put. Let me try to get through these comments fast because I got to get out of here, guys. They claim to be pro-black and want to abide by the one-drop rule. Yeah. Yeah, they need that one-drop rule because they're losing influence in society. They see us emerging, us galvanizing, our numbers are growing, we're collectivizing. They look at us as a threat. So they need that one. They weaponize the one drop rule as like a humbling tactic to try to pull us back into blackness where we can be abused and mocked and spit on, right? And I'm just one guy who's like, nah, fuck that. I can get a better deal elsewhere. I'm good. I have dignity, self-respect, and integrity. I'm good. Yeah, he's hard to listen to. Yeah, but it's for educational. That's why I'm gonna break this down into 2 streams. I'm not gonna be up here for 4 hours. Forget about that. Yeah. There's more interbreeding. They're black gene. Cape Verde. Let's see. Checking some of these comments. Yeah, Dr. Umar had crazy look in his eyes. And like the guy here puts Brett Reed, he sounds like a Klan member. This rhetoric. Yeah, it's in complete reverse, right? Yeah, there's the pro blacks because the pro blacks, they want to be just like their white racist massa. They want to be like the white man, but they can't exhibit power over white people. So all they can do is make stupid jokes like Neanderthal, cave dweller, or they'll say some other stupid crap like, "Oh, your chicken is unseasoned. You have unseasoned chicken." That's all they can do is make stupid little jokes. They can't do anything else because they'll get reminded of their position. The only people that they have, they don't have influence over Latinos or Arabic people or Asians. Okay. They have no power over anybody. It's only other black people that they victimize. And who they try to victimize the most is biracials. Okay. They try to victimize the biracials more than anybody else. If you're stuck in their group, once you get the hell away from them and distance yourself from their group, they literally have no influence over you. They'll cry to their white massa. He's a racist, but that's basically all they can do. Let's see what we got. Umar is a grifter. He put here, Umar is a grifter. Jermaine Shoemaker. Is that his real name? Because I know he changed his name to like Ifan Tunde or something, right? Ifan Tunde, is that his name? The Prince of Pan-Africanism. King Kong. He has like so many titles and names, you know? I don't have that many. I have, I think, a couple. Yeah, what, Mulatto Vanguard. I got probably another one I use that I want to share here. But yeah, Dr. Umar's got so many damn names. Like I pointed out, King Kong, like that's the name of his channel. He has like a monkey, an ape as like an avatar. And it's like he proudly like identifies himself as an ape. And there's a guy on YouTube. His channel is, he it's the same with him. There's another guy where, yeah, he uses a monkey or a gorilla as like his avatar and his YouTube channel name. And I'm sitting there like, man, you guys call yourself primates, but you want to whine and cry when other groups start to call you that. It's like, you know, make it make sense, man. You're the only ones who are referring to yourselves as animals. Nobody else does that. I don't see Asians or Latinos or white people refer to themselves as animals. You put here, just like the Nation of Islam, and they're dealing with KKK. Yeah, they all work together behind the scenes. Okay, all these the pro blacks, the black nationalists, the white supremacists, they all work together against mulattoes to neutralize us. Are there any black girls are born looking white right now at birth? Appreciate the support here. Let me see some of these comments here. And there are white people who are dark with dark features, curly hair, dark gums. So if that person's mixed with black person, he would be right. Or then pretending black women have the best bodies. And I read that one earlier. Yeah. And I was talking about I kind of tripped over my words, but it was a PAWG, the acronym. which is P for fat, spelled P-H-A-T, fat, A for ass, W for white, and then G for girl. We could just simply say a big booty white girl. Okay, which there's a lot of them here in America. Literally, like say what, corn fed. Like I said, depending on their diet, what they're eating and stuff like that, where it's like all the fat, it's not going to their belly, it's going to their booty cheeks. You got a lot of ladies, like we already know Latinas, or a lot of them are built like that. So when he said like um a flat ass Becky, he said something like that. I'm like, the women who typically don't have the curves that I see here in America are more so like Asian women, right? But they have other good, nice features as well. And they're the most feminine women, I'd probably say that for sure. But so they make up for in other areas. But physically here, I'm like, there's a lot of white chicks that got big booties. So that's just a stereotype they're pushing, that all the white girls don't have ass. And yeah, there's a lot of them who don't. A lot. You could possibly say, yeah, most of them don't have a big ass. Okay, that's not their leading feature. But when the ones who do have it, then it's kind of like, damn, where'd you get that, right? But yeah, moving on, you put here, what about them pretending black women? I just already read that. Apologize. Shout out to you, Val, for the comment. You put, people are now even assuming non-black with curly hair have black in them. Yeah, they're just weaponizing the one drop rule. Everyone's getting tired of it. They do it to Latinos as well. Oh, you Latino, you Spanish, European, and Native American, Aztec or Mayan. Oh, so you black too? No, no. Like, I remember watching this video of a fully little Asian girl with two Asian parents. The little girl had curly hair, and black women in the comments were saying things like, "Oh, she got black in her." Yeah, it's because they hate themselves so much. So they look to these other races. They want to like live vicariously through us. They want to cling on to us to represent them because they have self-hate. So yeah, when you see that, where it's an Asian girl with some curls in her hair, and you got black women who are like, "Oh, they got black in them, black in them." It just shows you how little that the black women feel about themselves in that comment section, right? Because they don't gatekeep what it is to be a black woman, like a Lupita Nyong'o kind of aesthetic, right? Yeah, it's just a lot of these people, man, they have self-hate. So they're gonna spread their confusion to you, and you gotta get away from them. The black women in my family don't have huge asses. Uh, let's see what we got. Move through these comments real quick. Um, you put here, you have to check out the Hotep's Professor Grift. Yeah, Professor Grift, he has like a mulatto wife. And he's another one of these dark skinned pro wax from Public Enemy, right? But of course, like I told you, with all these pro wax, they serve their white massa. Because I know Professor Griff from Public Enemy, he's been on Alex's Jones channel numerous times. You know, Alex Jones, who's kind of like a conspiracy theorist guy. Yeah, Professor Griff, I've seen some videos with him on Alex Jones multiple times. You see that? These damn pro whacks that are so pro whack, they marry a mulatto and they're going to their white massa to jump on his channel, you know, to talk about the American government and all this. Yeah, Professor Griff, yeah, it's like Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar, all the black nationalists. Yeah, they're not fooling anybody. They all serve whites, okay? Against mulattoes, against the interest of mulattoes. And then they want to pretend, oh, you're just as black. We claim you. You're part of the African family, right? Because they want to position you to be a crash test dummy to fight their battles for them. But these people got to pay us or dance for us, or they got to do something. Because I'm not doing nothing for free. Calling them queens after the rant, biracial women never change. Yeah. Mixed race black woman. Yeah. Because you look at Lupita, I use her as a standard of what a black woman looks like. Lupita Nyong'o. Like, she's not mixed race. There was some idiot on TikTok who tried to confuse the issue purposely, because that's what they do. If you entertain these people long enough, they try to instill their own mental confusion into you. So this woman who's not mixed on TikTok, she's pretending to be mixed, which is a lot of these people, they do that. These people with minimal admixture who want to say they're just the same as a biracial. And I pointed out, like, nah, Lupita's a black woman. Her aesthetic, she's black. And this idiot on TikTok was basically saying that, oh, she's mixed race. Both of her parents are like, are Mexican or something. I was like, no, Lupita is a Spanish name. She was born in Mexico. So she's by birth, her nationality is Mexican, but her parents are both from Kenya. She has Kenyan parents. They all like look this, her family, they look the same. They're all phenotypically, they're dark skin, kinky hair. So, but they try to confuse the issue. If you entertain these people, they'll try to confuse, multi-ethnic and multinational with multiracial, right? Because they hate themselves. They want to be mixed race, right? They want to claim anything else besides being black. And then they'll project it onto you. It's like, I'm just being honest with you. I got a white mom, a black dad. I'm not the same as like a black like Dr. Umar or someone like that. I'm not me. We're not the same people. You're not my people, okay? So straight up. Or when they make videos on black men being the Moors. To be honest, the Moors were an embarrassing part of black history since they basically went to Europe. Yeah, the same thing. Yeah, and and a lot of the Moors, they helped enslave other Africans to Arabic people because a lot of the Moors were slave traders, right? But yeah, they went on a conquest all the way into Europe to get with European women. They're doing the same crap now, right? And here in America, they're not really doing the conquest part, but they're competing against other black men, fighting other black men with their hip hop shit, right? So they can get a light skin or get a white woman, right? Like that rapper, the tattooed face rapper Daylight. You guys heard of him? Daylight. He's got tattoos on his face. I'm pretty sure you listen to his music. He's talking all this crap about other black men. This N word that, this N word that. I'm the realest N word in my town. Listen how vulgar the music is. Where they're talking about all this violence and, brutality and just barbarism, you know, against their own kind, other black men. They want to prove how alpha they are, attacking other black men, but then they go run to a white woman to have kids with her, to go move into a white community once they get some money. So it's the same shit that the Moors did back then, right? They're doing the same crap now. Enslaving their own, fighting their own so they can get access to a white woman. Yeah, we all see it. Too many people speaking for us. Yeah, they're not enough of us speaking up. A lot of these biracials are cowards just looking for black acceptance. It is what it is. I figured that out early on when I started this endeavor. I'm not stressing over it. You put here how the black men are doing today. It's funny because black men love to talk about them being the Moors, even though they sold black women and girls as slaves, cater to white women selling black women. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I think you just put the other comment as well about the Moors. Yeah, they were basically a lot of them were slave traders. They're not going to talk about that though. They want to talk about, oh, we fought these whites and we conquered them and we got some of the women. It's like, well, look at you now. Then you didn't, you might have won a couple battles, but in the long run, those battles really amount for nothing. Just kind of now you have like fictitious kind of fairy tales now to pat yourself on the back, but really it doesn't stand on anything. You don't have technology or any advanced civilization now to even compete in society. You just jump on the internet and you know, pretend that you're winning, right? He knows better than the mothers how to raise us correctly. Yeah, he's anti-white racist, Dr. Umar. So he wants to tell these white women, you need to just make sure that child identifies as black. No. Okay, let me see, get these comments. Calling white mothers snow bunnies as if it's not insulting as hell. Yeah. Yeah. So you put a comment about Lamar or LaMelo Ball. Yeah, I don't follow the Ball brothers. That's LaVar, LaMelo, and the other guy. I don't really follow basketball, but I know who you're talking about. Yes, him calling our our white mother snow bunnies and Karens. Yeah, we're supposed to be on his team. Yeah, right. Afro Latina, mulatto. Let me see. Telling the truth about Dr. Umar. Yeah. Yeah, and you put here, you have the right to date whoever you want. But, it's very common for they call that de-policing. And Dr. Umar, like I said, he's, yeah, de-policing, trying to tell other men who they can date, who they can be with. I never told anybody on any time who you can date, who you can be with. There's a couple problematic idiots who happen to be women and who happen to be biracial who will try to make the assumption that somehow that I was like I put something out there for biracial women to date biracial men. Like, I don't give a damn who you date. My whole thing is, do you identify as biracial? Do you like being biracial? Because then those are the people I want to be around in my circles. Who you date, that's your business. What you do in the bedroom. It's not my business. But when I see these other people who try to kind of push that, like who you date, it's very creepy and weird, right? Like a Dr. Umar. He's got like, baby mamas, and he's like worried about who black men date or something like that. That's pretty sad. And a lot of black women have flat butts. Yeah, the BBL trend is pretty big with black women, right? So it kind of throws that out there about the whole, well, mostly have big butts. Yeah, you have a lot of them that have really nice. Say, I've never been mistaken for black ever in my life. So this guy's theory is absolutely wrong. Yeah, it's completely flawed. All these flavors. Now I want maple, pecan, cinnamon, oatmeal. Yeah, he says that. Like, he says butter, pecan, all this stuff like that. Butter, pecan, vanilla. He said African vanilla. You guys caught that? It's like, shit. All right, guys, I'm going to catch you guys later. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.